Bristol Motor Speedway is the second race in the first round of the playoffs. Spring winner Chandler Smith finds himself now 2 points below the cut line. Caden Honeycutt sits at -7 behind Jake Garcia, who is on the bubble. But the man of the hour this season has been Corey Heim. Already 8 trips to victory lane, including the playoffs opener at Darlington 2 weeks ago. Coming up, it's the UNOH 250 presented by Ohio Logistics here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
NASCAR Live Race Day is brought to you by Toyota. For the latest Toyota Gazoo racing information, visit tgrna.com.
Welcome to the world's fastest half mile, where the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series are about to do battle for 250 laps around this high-banked racetrack. Brad Gilley alongside Mark Garrow, high atop Bristol Motor Speedway. And we already saw one heck of an ARCA race, Mark, where Brent Cruz just went wire to wire. And he's going to be running in tonight's truck race as well.
We always see action at Bristol Motor Speedway. Saw it a bit in the ARCA Menard Series. I don't think we'll see the same kind of runaway when we get to this Craftsman Truck Series race tonight, even though Corey Heim has certainly dominated. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Race number 2, round 1 for the Truck Series.
Corey Heim will start on the outside pole. Jake Garcia is the man who was fastest in qualifying earlier today. But we'll find out who goes to victory lane. We're also going to let you hear from some of the starting lineup here at Bristol Motor Speedway and get you set for a big playoffs race. All 3 of NASCAR's top divisions now in the postseason, with the middle race in round number 1 for the trucks tonight. Tomorrow night, we have the playoffs opener for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Saturday night, the Bass Pro Shops night race is going to be the cutoff race, where the 16-driver field will be whittled down to 12 when the checkered flag flies. A lot happening here in Thunder Valley, and we've got it all for you on the NASCAR Racing Network. When we come back, we're going to let you hear from some of the drivers who are going to do battle here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Oh, Kansas.
Here we go.
Second half today.
You just don't stop giving, do you?
Green flag, we're underway.
The closest finish in NASCAR Cup Series history.
Oh, we won! What a finish, boys!
Close to downtown, amazing campgrounds, 3 NASCAR races in 1 weekend, and it's the playoffs.
You guys can't drive.
Now you're just showing off. But we're not mad. In fact, we're looking forward to it. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 26th through the 28th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about.
Win at Talladega.
Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple-header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes.
We gotta go.
Throw in a can't-miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
The NASCAR world lost one of the greats this past week when Bill Davis passed away. A longtime car owner, Mark, both in the NASCAR Cup Series, 5-time winner, won a Daytona 500 and several races with Ward Burton, including a Southern 500. As we're talking about the trucks here tonight, many truck wins for Bill Davis. I know Mike Skinner, as well as many other drivers, took their trucks to victory lane a lot, and there's been a lot of wonderful things said about Bill Davis.
Always matched up. He had a trucking company, so he's got a great truck on the racetrack at the same time. Certainly won some big races in Cup, obviously in the Truck Series as well. And when I first got into this thing, he was one of the big players, certainly in the sport.
Yeah, we're definitely thinking about his widow, Gail Davis, and the Bill Davis family, and he will certainly be missed here in NASCAR. From Bristol Motor Speedway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
NASCAR history.
Petty wins his 200th career NASCAR victory.
Told by the people who made that history.
President Reagan was there. He got us on the front page, and we got him in the sports page. It was a good trade-off from that standpoint.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast The Road to Royalty. Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, 50 Years of MRN, the 1993 season, Junior's Journey, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
After a devastating storm that brings down trees and homes, so many families have nowhere to turn. That's why Samaritan's Purse responds immediately after hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, and fires all across the country. Our volunteer teams bring tools and compassion to homeowners who have lost not only possessions, but more importantly, hope. You can help. Join with Samaritan's Purse. Log on to SamaritansPurse.org.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway for tonight's UNOH 250 presented by Ohio Logistics. Brad Gilley alongside Mark Garrow. And we're going to go down to pit road and hear from some of the drivers. We have two pit reporters covering things. We'll first start with Andrew Curlin.
Yeah, well, I want to thank Lane Riggs because he just came up to me, said he tries to get to driver intros early just to talk to us at PRN. So how are you feeling tonight? You played spoiler in the playoff race last year. Are you hoping to get a win tonight?
I am. I feel really confident in my forward racing, loves travel stops F-150. So, yeah, we were really fast in practice. I think we were overall 5, 10, 15, 20 lap average. We were the best. So I feel really confident in it. We made some adjustments from when we won here last fall and also from the spring, and we've been really stronger every time that the front of Motorsports has showed up. Chandler and I, teammates, have won the last two, and we're hoping to keep that streak alive.
So you're plus 38 to the cut line. This is the middle race of the playoffs. How safe can you feel going into a crazy race like Bristol?
Yeah, well, you never feel safe unless you're locked in, right? And, we could have been a little bit better after Darlington made a mistake late in the race, but I already used my mulligan, just got to be smart right here. I feel like it's not as much of a wild card race. Of course, it's pretty wild at times, but just putting yourself in the right position, being smart, usually being further to the front makes things a little bit easier and more predictable. So, our plan is just to run a nice, smooth race all night, and hopefully we have enough speed that we can back it up with a win.
Well, Wendy, that's Lane Riggs. Those front row motorsports trucks are fast here at Bristol.
Well, another guy that's hoping to be fast here at Bristol, Raja Caruth. All right, Raja, let's talk about Bristol. You said this is one of your favorite racetracks. You finished third here. You've won a stage. Tell us why it's your favorite.
Yeah, Wendy, I don't know. I think for me, the first time I was here in an ARCA car, it just kind of made sense to me, and it's been interesting to see how it's evolved over the last, 3 or 4 years I've been coming here, and even when the dirt was on it, I still thought it was pretty cool. So, yeah, I love this racetrack and enjoy coming back here each time that I get the chance to do so.
Now, you're 4 points to the good. Not a whole lot of breathing room. Can you take more chances this early in? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think you just got to stay in the game, right? And if guys are running better, you just can't take yourselves out of it. But I'm counting on our 7100cars.com Silverado to be right there in the front. So thank you to Mr. H, Miss Linda, and everybody at Spire and Chevrolet for what they do to put me in this position. So hopefully it's ends up well for us.
All right, have fun out there tonight. That's Raja Caruth. Andrew Curlin.
Yeah, Ty Majeski's a guy who knows how to win here at Bristol. So what's the key to getting around this really fast half mile?
Be out front. Track position is big here, especially when they lay the PJ1 down. I'm hoping we see a second lane form, but it seems like it just is different every year. Sometimes with the PJ1 we get up there, and sometimes we don't. So remain to be seen on how it works out tonight. But yeah, when we won in 22, we were able to flip the strategy and forego stage points and get out front and win the race. Yeah, we'll kind of see how the race plays out the first stage, and that'll kind of make our decision on whether we take the points or try and flip it for the win.
You said this racetrack changes every time you come here. How long do you think it takes before you realize what you have?
Yeah, I don't know. If it goes long that first stage and tires start to, give out a little bit, if that outside starts to come in, we're going to see it more and more as the night progresses. But man, with looking at what the ARCA race did, and even a lot of guys were trying it in practice, and it really never yielded any speed up there. I think it's going to be pretty bottom dominant. Track position will be the name of the game tonight.
Well, Wendy, that's Ty Majeski. He is starting 6th tonight, but track position, the name of the game for him.
Well, I'm downstairs here with Chandler Smith. Nice and cozy right here on this stage. We found a quiet spot. You won here in this race in April. Does that mean you can back it up for a full sweep this year in 2025 at Bristol?
It don't seal the deal for sure, but we definitely know how to get out here and get it done with this number 38 truck. So, yeah, brought back same truck, pretty much same setup. There's not a lot that's different. So, really looking forward to what our number 38 QuickType Products Ford F-150 has in store for tonight. And hopefully we can break out the broom.
Now, when you say same setup, does that mean it performed the same in practice and qualifying from what you were expecting earlier in the spring?
No, what I mean by same setup is like same springs, same shocks, all the mechanical things that you can do with the chassis and whatnot. That's what I mean by same setup. So.
All right, Chandler Smith, right there in that points. I mean, you don't have a whole lot of room there, Chandler. Let's talk about that real quickly on how you feel about going into Bristol and how aggressive you could be here tonight.
How I feel is excited. Just like I said after Darlington, I wasn't too worried about it. So if it's meant to be for the good Lord for us to advance to the next round, we will. So just super grateful, just taking in this time of, being with this 38 team, Front Row Motorsports. Like, we just have such an amazing team, an amazing environment, and just truly trying to take in every moment that I can, because you never know when it's your last.
Yeah, that's so true. Thanks, Chandler Smith. He is 2 points down in that point standings. One of the guys we'll be watching tonight here at Bristol.
On the plus side, I guess, for Chandler Smith, in the last 13 races at Bristol for the Craftsman Truck Series, only one repeat winner. Chandler Smith.
Hey, look at that. And like he said, he hopes to break out the broom and do what he did here in the spring. When we come back, you'll hear from more of the starting lineup for tonight's UNOH 250.
This is Kyle Larson.
I'm David Grouse.
Hi, I'm Donnie Shaw.
This is Brian Brown.
This is Danny Dietrich. Wing Nation is your go-to destination for all the latest sprint car news and interviews from the stars of sprint car racing from around the country. This is Steve Post. Aaron Evernham, Ashley Strummy, and I will have all the latest news, insights, and conversations on Wing Nation's YouTube or Facebook pages, or listen and download and subscribe to Wing Nation on any podcast platform.
Wing Nation.
Wing Nation.
Wing Nation.
Wing Nation. Wing Nation. All sprint cars, all the time.
Looking for motorsports podcasts you won't find anywhere else? Check out the Motor Racing Network's lineup of exclusive podcasts. MRN Classic Races, Junior's Journey, The Many Hats of Jack Roush, Richard Petty, Road to Royalty, 50 Years of MRN, Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, and The Tough Trucks of NASCAR. Find these and more MRN exclusive podcasts on podcast providers and MRN.com.
Tonight's Restart Zone is sponsored by Echo Park Automotive. Every car, happy owner at Echo Park Automotive. From Bristol Motor Speedway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the Tough Trucks of NASCAR.
You're not going to want to miss tonight's county fair. I'm going to be...
We are your window to your community.
Did you see the last 5 minutes of that football game last night?
Oh, man, I saw the whole thing. And a lifeline to keep you safe when danger is near.
Everybody who is listening needs to take cover as soon as they can. This is one of the biggest storms.
We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress you depend on your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Jeff Gordon wins the Daytona 500.
Jeff Gordon's rise to one of NASCAR's all-time greatest drivers was one like no other. Relive Jeff Gordon's journey to the NASCAR Hall of Fame with the exclusive MRN podcast, Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career. 93 Cup Series wins, 4 Cup Series championships, and 3 Daytona 500 wins. A career rivaled by few others. Check out MRN's Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway for tonight's NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series playoffs race, the UNOH 250 presented by Ohio Logistics. Drivers are walking across the pre-race stage as they get introduced to this crowd here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway. And as we mentioned, we have 2 very capable pit reporters down there covering all the action trackside this weekend. Let's go down to Wendy Venturini.
Tyler Ankrum is one of those drivers that we're going to be following here with these playoff standings. Tyler, how confident do you feel going into tonight's race?
Pretty confident. I think we have a really good truck. I think we for sure have top 3, top 5 pace. I think qualifying backed that up for us after practice. Just got to keep this lane of Chevrolet up front. You know, stage points in the first stage are going to be super important, and if we can get top 3, top 5 points, it kind of frees you up for the rest of the night because it protects the points that you earned at Darlington. So I think we'll be all right. Just got to keep the nose clean, mitigate mistakes on restarts pit road, and we'll stay up front all night long.
You already sound very methodical when it comes to these points. You're 22 points to the good. How much is that playing into your strategy for that first part of the race?
Quite a bit, because 22 points sounds like a good cushion, but it's really not. If you run 5th to 10th all night long and a guy like Honeycutt or Majeski who's behind us and they run top 5 all night long, that gap's gone. So you really need to focus on, at least for the first stage, of protecting yourself and then just finishing good. You want to be up front for the end of these races because they can get real hectic and you can capitalize.
All right, that's Tyler Ankrum. Good luck out there tonight. He's focused on these points. Let's head over to Andrew Kurland.
Yeah, Daniel Hemrick wanted a short track earlier this year in Martinsville. I know this place is really different than Martinsville, but what are the tools needed to be successful at a short track?
Yeah, I think it takes, anytime you can use both feet and make a difference inside the vehicle, it's always good. So,
yeah, hopefully I can do the right things inside the South Point Hotel and Casino Silverado tonight. It's cool to have the South Point family back on board. If guys and folks haven't booked their hotels for the South Point 400 coming up in Vegas, trucks won't be there, but Cup Race puts on a great show, and they supported it for a long time. So hopefully everybody in the industry goes and supports them, and yeah, hopefully this 19 team can mind our P's and Q's tonight and do the right things that we need to have a good night.
Real quick before you get introduced, you're plus 33 to the cut line, so how do you evaluate the playoff implications that come with tonight?
Just go race. That's what I love to do. Just go race.
Very simple for Daniel Hemrick. Just go race, Wendy.
Corey Heim, Heim time, locked in already. One of the most comfortable drivers in tonight's field. Corey, does that mean you can get a little bit more aggressive here at Bristol?
Yeah, I think to an extent. I feel like we have a pretty even-keeled mindset here at Track on Garage and our 11 team, but, it certainly allows us to take a little bit more risk, I guess, approach in our strategy and whatnot, but I feel like every week I go into a race with the kind of the same mindset. Hopefully, knock on wood, I feel like I don't put myself in any bad positions, so hopefully I can keep that going. But, we've always had speed here, I feel like, in the past with our number 11 Yahoo Tundra, but just got to keep it rolling.
You're one win away from breaking a record from Greg Biffle set in 1999 for the most wins in a season with 9. Do you pay attention to these stats? Does that mean anything to you? And is the Biff here?
I believe he is. I think my competition director, Matt Pusher, was talking to him a little bit earlier. So, to an extent, it's really cool to look back on what we've done so far this year and just understand kind of what we're capable of, But at the same time, we got a goal to chase, and that's a championship. So, one race at a time, we're just trying to stack more playoff points for the round of 8, and of course, just have a good enough round to get us there to begin with. But like I said, it's really cool to look back on and just to see the progression and just how fast we've been this year and all the opportunities we've had to compete for wins. But like I said, still got a lot to look forward to.
All right, that's Corey Heim, and with his win at Darlington, is the only driver locked in to that round of 8, guys.
Here's the bad news for the competition. His pace is quickening as far as his trips to victory lane. 4 wins the first 11 races, 4 wins the last 8. So if that keeps up, he will certainly break the record and set a very high standard for somebody to go after later on.
Yeah, and look, I'm not a coulda, woulda, shoulda guy. Either you won or you didn't win. But there were several instances in those first 11 races where he could have won, but he didn't. But they had that kind of speed, and they've just been fast all season long. The other thing about this, too, Mark, is you look at the confidence that Corey Heim has behind the wheel of that truck. He does not falter on anything. He is just automatic. You could think of a number of nicknames to give someone like Iceman or whatever it might be, but that is exactly what Corey Heim is behind the wheel of that truck.
Well, that's part of the problem for the competition. If he's trailing them, they're going, okay, he's obviously set on the kill switch. He will eventually track us down. He will eventually pass us. If he's out front, they're thinking, I don't think we can get him. He's not going to make a mistake. And his crew, they call a great race. He's got a great pit crew on pit road. That whole deal is certainly championship caliber, and they're proving it week in, week out.
Yeah, no question. Have to give a lot of credit to Tricon Garage, the team for which he drives. You have to give a lot of credit to Toyota and everything that they do to support Tricon Garage and Corey Heim and everything else. It has just been amazing, the season that they put together. And like Wendy asked him, Greg Biffle, 9 wins in a season. Corey Heim can not only match that here tonight, he could potentially eclipse that when we go to New Hampshire next weekend or as the Truck Series playoffs continue after that.
So is the final number 11, 12, 13? That's the only question right now.
Right now, he could end the season having won more than half of the races.
Well, he's batting nearly 500 right now, 8 for 19.
Not bad. So I think, hey, look, if I'm into numbers, Mark, I would say win number 11 could come at Phoenix and match his truck number.
I think it'll be beyond that. I think we're going to be subtracting from his car number.
That might be the case. We've got more coming up pre-race here from Bristol Motor Speedway.
Hey, I hear you think podcasts are all about true crime, huh? Well, wise guy, the iHeartRadio app's got all kinds of podcasts. We got stuff you should know and stuff they don't want you to know. We got Bobby Bones, Big Boy, and Lou Later. We got SpongeBob Binge Pants and Exotic Erotic Story Time. We got Doughboys, Two Dudes in the Kitchen, Green Eggs and Dan. Hey, we got Elf Quest. We got podcasts for everything on the iHeartRadio app for free. If you don't download that, well, that's not just a true crime, my friend. That's criminal.
NASCAR history.
What I learned from Ken Squire, Barney Hall, and Ned Jarrett, I could never repay. Ken never told me what to say or what not to say. I learned very quickly that I was never going to be another Ken Squire. I don't think anybody could rise to that level.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcasts 50 years of MRN. Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, the 1993 season, Junior's Journey, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
The final driver has walked across the pre-race stage. Driver intros are over, and we're getting closer to opening ceremonies. From Bristol Motor Speedway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
On Thursdays, NASCAR Live goes wide open with some of the biggest names in the sport.
The goal is the same, so the mindset's the same, all right? The goal is to win the championship.
And some familiar voices that you might not have heard from in a while.
You know, I thought about going to one of these teams because I'd really like to win the 500.
I never planned any of this to start with, right from the very beginning.
No matter what driver or what era is your favorite, NASCAR Live Wide Open has every corner of the fan base covered. Subscribe now wherever you listen to podcasts.
Local radio brings people together like never before.
It's a beautiful hometown weekend out there. We've got
your local stations keep you informed and involved with music, talk shows, and real-time news updates you can trust. We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters, connecting you to what matters most. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress to support your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to STOP.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway for the UNOH 250 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series playoffs race. Mark, after this, next weekend, we get to head to your neck of the woods where you grew up, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. The Craftsman Truck Series will be out there. That's going to be the cutoff race in what is their round of 10. After this one, they're going to whittle it down to 8 trucks.
And in that round of 8, look at this. The Roval at Charlotte, Talladega Superspeedway, Martinsville. Road course, super speedway, short track. Mister, that is a round and a half right there.
3 wild card races to set their championship for. Let's go down to pit road and hear from more drivers. Andrew Curlin, who's with you.
Yeah, Caden Honeycutt is here, starting 4th, pretty close to the front. You're -7 going into this race, middle race of the playoffs. How do you feel about, removing that points deficit?
Yeah, I think tonight we'll just focus on getting stage points right and running good in the first 2 stages. We got a really good track position to go and execute that. And, we'll just have to see what we do for strategy. It'll be kind of interesting what we do tonight. So just want to thank all my HFR guys, Hallmark International, Mohawk Northeast, Toyota, everyone that's been such a huge help for me. And, -7, but I really don't think it's a big deal right now. So tonight we're just going to focus on doing our deal and running good and being up front in the stages. And if we can win at the end of the night, we're damn sure going to try. But if not, then we'll try to settle what we can do to have our good spot going in New Hampshire.
Well, Wendy, Caden Honeycutt is confident. He finished 8th earlier this year at Bristol.
Grant Empfinger, just signing some autographs before you climb into this race truck. Talk about the points going into tonight. 30 points to the good, so you feel pretty good, but it could go by fast. How aggressive can you be tonight?
Yeah, I mean, stuff happens fast here at Bristol. I feel like we got a decent Champion Power Equipment Chevy. Had some pretty good drivability. It wasn't perfect, I would say, but I feel like it was definitely a step in the right direction. We struggled here a little bit in the spring, so I feel like if we can top 5 them tonight, we'll go ahead and try to do that. And, maybe we made it a little better. If we can, we'll fight for the win at the end.
What is the biggest thing to stay out of trouble here?
Trying to look in front of you, but stuff's happened just so quick. I've got a good one on the roof with Tim Fedewa, so lots on him, lots on me, and just staying on it. And even if you are prepared, stuff can happen here in a hurry.
Sounds like a true veteran. That is Grant Empfinger. Let's head over to Andrew Curlin.
Yeah, Corey Day is starting in this Hendrick Cars Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports, making your 9th start this season. How do you feel about the reps you've been able to get so far in the Truck Series?
Yeah, I feel good. I finally feel like I'm to a pretty good place. It's taken, the 9 races this year and 4 last year. So it's just seat time. These guys have been doing it for a lot longer than I have. So the seat time and the reps have been, super crucial. And I finally feel like I'm in a pretty good spot.
Well, guys, that's Corey Day, who's currently getting his cool suit ready to go. There's a lot of action going on here at Bristol.
Thank you, Andrew. He'll roll off 5th tonight, Mark. And Corey Day is the guy that Kyle Larson discovered and told Rick Hendrick, this might be your next development driver. Let's get him in a truck.
Well, he's certainly been making progress throughout the year from where he started, both the Xfinity and the Truck Series. Kind of a rough start all the way around, but it's been picking up lately. He's the real deal. It's just going to take the laps, going to take the reps, as they talked about.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun watching drivers get developed. You know, we heard from Caden Honeycutt a minute ago as well. Right now, he is the number 10 seed. He's -7 of the cut line. He missed a race, but still made the playoffs as a driver. Started the season with Nice Motorsports. Stuart Friesen has his big wreck in his modified, broke several bones, is out of the truck. So they said, hey, why don't you come over here to Hallmark Friesen Racing, become a Toyota driver. He ended up missing a week, but was still able to qualify as a driver for the playoffs. And I'll tell you what, with Hallmark Friesen Racing, I think he's found himself a good home right now.
Nice little second marriage, middle of the season. Worked out for everybody, unfortunately, because of the injury to Stuart Friesen.
Yeah, definitely thinking about a speedy recovery for Stuart Friesen as well. But really, really cool. All right, let's hear from our pole sitter with Wendy Venturini.
There's nothing better than that front row view. And for Jake Garcia, you're going to have that advantage tonight at Bristol. Have you thought about this and that green flag start tonight many times through your head so far since qualifying?
Yeah, I've definitely thought about it. I think maybe I have a plan, hopefully. I think it's a little easier to think about it than it is to actually do it sometimes, though. So, hopefully we can go out there and execute, get some good track position, start the race, and hopefully get 10 points in stage 1. That's the goal. That'd be big for our playoff bubble situation. Biggest thing is just stacking points tonight and having a good run and not having any huge mistakes that are going to be a big setback. Those are the things you have to limit, I feel like, in this round. And that's the goal, is just no mistakes tonight and take advantage of our good qualifying episodes.
Talking about that bubble for the playoffs, you're right inside that bubble, 2 points to the good. When you talk about stacking points, tell the race fans at home, how do you strategize that with your crew chief and what the plan is for tonight?
Well, sometimes it'll affect when you pit, when you take tires, whether you stay out at the end of the stage or something like that. Just trying to maximize stage points, where some of these guys that aren't in the playoffs will just go for a win, or some of the guys that have enough points to kind of be locked into the next round will, they'll focus on going for the win of the race. So, but for the 4 or 5 of us that are, within the range of the bubble, I feel like we'll all be going for stage points and trying to maximize that.
All right, hang on to it tonight. That's Jake Garcia starting from the pole here at Bristol.
Thank you very much, Wendy Venturini. For the 3rd time this year, Jake Garcia will start from the pole. Same as Corey Heim, by the way, who starts on the outside row. Jake Garcia also won poles at Rockingham and Kansas earlier this year. We're getting closer to opening ceremonies here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers, and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you in part by Sunoco. From NASCAR to your car, Sunoco fuels peak performance. From Bristol Motor Speedway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Inspiring story.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes back to the Daytona International Speedway. He will win the Pepsi 400.
I'm just the pilot, man. I just want everybody to be happy. I want to do good, and hopefully all of my dad's fans enjoyed this. This for all them.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast Junior's Journey. Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, 50 Years of MRN, the 1993 season, The Road to Royalty, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver.
and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway. Brad Gilley alongside Mark Garrow. Coming up, we'll bring in our turn announcer, Rob Albright, who will be calling things from right on top of the backstretch suites. But first, we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification on the NASCAR Racing Network. Well, Mark, as we sit here, it's the calm before the storm, just a couple of minutes away from opening ceremonies. But one constant throughout most of 2025 in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series has been Heim time.
And right now he's all about setting records on the way to a championship. At least that's where he hopes it ends. 9th driver in Truck Series history to win 3 or more consecutive races. Looking to extend that streak tonight, become the 3rd driver to have a winning streak of 4 or more. He matches Kyle Busch, who won 4 in a row in 2019, and be 1 away from the all-time record. NASCAR Hall of Fame famer Ron Hornaday Jr. He collected 5 straight victories in 2009.
Well, the last time we were here, Corey Heim did not win. In fact, he wasn't even the dominating truck. That came from another driver in a Ford.
And that, of course, Chandler Smith. We mentioned he's the only repeat winner in the last 13 races here at Bristol Motor Speedway. However, he hasn't finished inside the top 5 since that big win at North Wilkesboro 10 races ago.
Yeah, a lot to look at. Chandler Smith is behind the cut line right now, -2, and one other driver joining him back there as well.
And that's Caden Honeycutt. He's -7. Corey Heim has locked in with the win. Lane Riggs +38. Daniel Hemrick +33. Grant Enfinger +30. Then it gets kind of tight down there. Tyler Ankrum is 22 above the cut line. Ty Majeski 16. Raja Caruth only 4. Jake Garcia only +2. Really tight right there at just below and just above the cut line.
Mark, I look at it this way. You get past the first 2 stages cleanly, then go race for it if you're one of those drivers that is in a precarious spot on points.
Well, you certainly, if you're a Jake Garcia, you're +2. You're starting up front. You'd love to come away with 15, 18, really, if you're lucky, 20 points after the first 2 stages, kind of help things along and get a little bit of breathing space.
That could be a good thing. We have 250 laps here at Bristol Motor Speedway for this UNOH 250 presented by Ohio Logistics, and we're going to get things started the right way here as opening ceremonies are about to happen here at the world's fastest half mile. So let's go trackside to get everything started here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We've got a great color guard. We're going to have a prayer, a national anthem, and so much more as opening ceremonies now get underway here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as you are able. Remove your hats and veterans render a hand salute as the Daniel Boone High School Junior ROTC Color Guard presents our nation's colors. Here to offer tonight's invocation, please welcome morning show host of Christian radio station WCQR, Rhonda Lacey.
Would you please join me in prayer by bowing your heads? Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this opportunity to gather here today to celebrate racing. And God, just like on this day, 24 years ago, the headlines were heavy, but God, you are the source of light. You are the source of peace, and we thank you for that. We can gather here today despite our differences and come together in unity. And God, also, we want to thank you for being not only an infinite God, the Alpha and the Omega, that you see everything, but that you are also an intimate God and that you know each one of us personally. God, thank you for the men and women who protect us. I pray safety for all the drivers, their crew, everyone here in attendance, everyone working the Speedway. God, thank you for the firefighters and the police and the first responders who keep us safe and who make sacrifices every day. And thank you for your most important sacrifice, your Son, Jesus Christ. And it's in his name I pray. Amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome from the United States Marine Corps, Sergeant Selby Peterson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so bright? And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
NASCAR Live Race Day has been brought to you by Toyota. For the latest Toyota Gazoo racing information, visit tgrna.com.
So you're a Toyota Cup driver and you just made it to the playoffs. Now all you have to do is win. Easy. Just turn left, right? That and start strong, take off, reach 200 miles per hour, maintain a good position, no big deal, lap again, time your pit stops, steer clear of accidents, talk to your crew chief like your best friend, and most importantly, turn left. Easy, right? You in? Get up to speed at tgrna.com. Toyota, let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang, that one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
Coming up, the Command to Fire engines from Bristol Motor Speedway. This is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Good morning, guys. I just want to warn you, traffic is tough out there.
We are here for you to tell you how to keep safe.
Everybody who is listening needs to take cover as soon as they can.
To provide the music, talk, and sports you love. And to deliver the news that matters to you. We are the voices you can trust. We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress you depend on your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to STOP.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Want to know the latest with short track racing around the country? Well, one show has you covered. NASCAR Coast to Coast. Hi, I'm Kyle Rickey. Join Chris Wilner and I each week as we break down the biggest headlines in grassroots racing and in NASCAR's regional and touring series. We also talk to rising stars from your favorite short track. That's NASCAR Coast to Coast. Watch or listen today on YouTube, Facebook, MRN.com, or your favorite podcast platform.
Live on the NASCAR Racing Network. It's the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Let's get a big thumbs up. Get ready to rock and roll past the race cars today, pal. Pull boys, let's execute. Have a good day.
Today, the UNOH 250, presented by Ohio Logistics from Bristol Motor Speedway. Brought to you by Craftsman. Runs long, works great, won't slow you down. The Craftsman V20 brushless RP lineup, built for the backyard and beyond. See craftsman.com for details. By Powerball, the official lottery game of NASCAR. By Good RX, For simple, smart savings on your prescriptions, go to goodrx.com. By Toyota. For the latest Toyota Gazoo racing information, visit tgrna.com. And by Sunoco. From NASCAR to your car, Sunoco fuels peak performance.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway alongside Mark Garrow. My name is Brad Gilley. You've already met our two pit reporters, Wendy Venturini and Andrew Curlin, helping us call the lap-by-lap action all the way on top of the suites on the back straightaway. Rob Albright. Rob, how are things looking up there?
They look great. And, Brad, as you well know, if there is a racetrack that television simply does not do justice, it's the one right here at Bristol. From the 24 to 28 degree compound banking in each end of this racetrack, and it's a challenge to walk up it if you ever try to do it on leather-soled shoes, to the 130-mile speeds in the midpoint of the straightaways. It's a buzz with action, and it keeps your hair standing on end for an entire green flag to checkered flag, 250 laps. I'll pick up the call when they enter turn number 1. Some of the cars we'll see die for that bottom. There's 4 feet of width of traction compound. We call it PJ1. It's a chemical compound, and the drivers are going to want to hunt that because there's good traction down there at the beginning of the race. We watched Chandler Smith trying to win his second Bristol race here this season. He worked the top of the racetrack throughout practice today. Expect to see him as one of the guys that will go up there early. The goal for the traction compound, side-by-side racing, 2 grooves wide all the way around this racetrack. Guys, I think we're going to see it here tonight. As they charge off turn number 2, they'll start down a very short 600-foot, 2 football fields in length, backstretch, and at about the midpoint, maybe just a little beyond that, I'll get tired of talking, and you guys can have it right back.
It's about a 3-second trip from corner to corner on the straightaways here at Bristol. Our stages tonight, stage 1, lap 65. Stage 2 ends at lap 130, and then 120 laps to the 250 that make up this Truck Series event.
Going to be a very exciting one here at Bristol Motor Speedway. This used to be a 200-lap race. About 2 years ago, they said, let's bump it up to 250. We get bonus racing here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We might even get more bonus racing because there is what's called NASCAR overtime, depending on when that last caution flag flies. We've got all the action for you here on the NASCAR Racing Network, and things are about to get exciting. This truly is the calm before the storm at Bristol. The drivers are in their trucks. They're ready to get them fired up. To do that, we need to go trackside now to the command to get the engines fired here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
And now, here to say the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome President of the University of Northwestern Ohio, Jeff Jarvis.
On behalf of everyone at the University of Northwestern Ohio, Ohio Logistics, and for the NASCAR fans and our friends at K&L Ready Mix, it's Bristol, baby! Drivers, start your engine!
Getting things set here at Bristol Motor Speedway. When we come back, we'll bring you the start of the UNOH 250.
DIYers, ever start a project thinking this'll be quick, only for it to be anything but? We've all been there, and that's why you need Craftsman, DIYers' most trusted brand. Craftsman's V20 battery works across drills, saws, trimmers, mowers, and over 100 other products from the house to the backyard and beyond. No dead stops, no refuels, just grab, swap, and get it done. Because your project might fight back, but your tools shouldn't. Head to Craftsman.com to learn more. Craftsman, build on.
80 million listeners depend on AM radio to always be on, delivering news, sports, talk, traffic, and weather reports you can trust. AM radio also delivers vital emergency information when you need it most. Text AM to 39179. Tell Congress to pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act to keep AM radio in cars.
The message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Trucks are getting ready to roll off a pit road. When we come back, we'll give you the starting lineup and the green flag from Bristol Motor Speedway. This is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Hey, I hear you think podcasts are all about true crime, huh? Well, wise guy, the iHeartRadio app's got all kinds of podcasts. We got stuff you should know and stuff they don't want you to know. We got Bobby Bones, Big Boy, and Lou Later. We got SpongeBob Binge Pants and Exotic Erotic Story Time. We got Doughboys, Two Dudes in a Kitchen, Green Eggs and Dan. Hey, we got Elf Quest. We got podcasts for everything on the iHeartRadio app for free. If you don't download that, well, that's not just a true crime, my friend. That's criminal.
Don't miss a moment of the NASCAR season.
Chastain drove it and never lifted. Put it against the safer barrier and all the way around the turn. Passes Denny Hamlin.
Check out the Motor Racing Network's coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and the NASCAR Cup Series on hundreds of local radio stations around the country. Find your local station by going to mrn.com to catch the excitement of NASCAR on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Now, here's the starting lineup.
Only one truck failed to qualify. That was Clay Greenfield in the number 95. Starting 36, Caleb Costner, the Ironside Forestry Toyota. Rolling off 35th will be Clayton Green, the Ariel Titans Ford. Norm Benning starts 34th in the MDIA Inc. Chevrolet. The ShiftStickUSA.com Chevrolet of Spencer Boyd starts 33rd. 32nd will be Josh Rayum, the Ariel Titans Ford. And the Celsius Toyota of Tony Breidinger will start 31st.
Then 30th on the grid in the Phil's Heating and Air Toyota, it's Greg Van Alst. 29th, Mason Maggio, the Densey Energy Pouches Ford. The Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship Chevrolet for Trayton Lapsevich will start 28th. 27th, Connor Jones, the Crow Equipment Incorporated Chevrolet. The Trophy Tractor Chevy of Stephen Parsons is 26th. 25th, Parker Kligerman, the FMS Solutions Chevrolet. The JF Electric Chevrolet of Matt Mills, 24th. 23rd, Connor Mozak, the Friends of Jacqueline Foundation Chevrolet. 22nd, Jack Wood, the Adaptive One Caliper Chevrolet. And then going off 21st in the Atlantic Tilt Load Toyota, it's Cole Butcher.
Matt Crafton will start 20th in the Planters Menards Ford. The Campers NRV Ford of Ben Rhodes rolls off 19th. 18th is Corey LaJoy, the Gainbridge Chevrolet. Tanner Gray starts 17th in the Place of Hope Toyota. Starting 16th, Andre Perez de Lara, the Telcel Chevrolet. Brent Cruz will start 15th in the JBL Toyota. Gio Ruggiero starts 14th, the First Auto Group Toyota. Starting 13th, Bailey Curry, the Sparco Chevrolet. Rolling off 12th will be Dawson Sutton, the Tennessee Vols Chevrolet. And Daniel Hemrick starts 11th in the South Point Hotel and Casino Chevrolet.
Now the top 10 outside of row number 5 in the HendrickCars.com Chevrolet. It's Raja Caruth to his inside. Starting 9th, Grant Enfinger, the Champion Power Equipment Chevrolet. The Quick Tie Ford of Chandler Smith is 8th. 7th, Lane Riggs, the Love's RV Stop Ford. Now moving up to row 3, starting 6th in the Soda Sense Curb Records Ford, it's Ty Majeski. 5th, Corey Day, the HendrickCars.com Chevrolet. Moving up to row 2, outside, starting 4th, Caden Honeycutt, the Halmar International Toyota. Then it's the Liuna Chevrolet of Tyler Ankrum in 3rd. The front row, outside, Corey Heim, the Yahoo Toyota. And on the pole, in the Quanta Services Ford, Jake Garcia, his 3rd pole in 2025 and his first here on the world's fastest half mile. His speed, 125.831 miles per hour.
And that's your starting lineup for the UNOH 250 presented by Ohio Logistics. As the trucks head down pit road to set their tachometers at pit road speed, let's get a couple of updates from our pit reporters. Covering things on the backstretch, Andrew Curlin.
Yeah, well, guys, Jake Garcia is starting on the pole and is +2 to the cut line. He's already faced adversity in the playoffs at Darlington. His crew rebounded from an uncontrolled tire to finish 10th. I caught up with his front tire carrier, Marcus Horton, before the race, who told me life on pit road is just like an NFL quarterback. Mistakes are going to happen, that's sports, but resetting your mentality and focusing on what's next is what makes good from great teams. He's got 10 years of experience on pit road, and he's going to need it tonight with the playoffs on the line.
Covering the front straightaway is Wendy Venturini.
Starting on the outside of that front row is Corey Heim. Now, he's won the last 3 Truck Series races. He's going for 4 in a row, and let's keep in mind he's actually won 4 of the last 5 races here in the Truck Series. Corey Heim's locked in. He is confident. He has nothing to worry about as he advances to that round of 8. I spoke to him and crew chief Scott Zipadelli before this race. They are willing to take a little bit more chances here tonight at Bristol because they are the only driver locked into that next round. They can go for points and try and get those stage points tonight, be a little bit more aggressive than any other driver in the field here at Bristol.
Going to say Corey Heim, he's thinking win. Everybody else in the Craftsman Truck Series playoff is thinking about points. Even the guys that are plus 30 above the cut line, you can lose 30 in a heartbeat here at Bristol. To me, it's much like Talladega. You can be riding along, everything's going fine, you get caught up in the big one. Same thing can happen here, where you got a big points night, disappears in a flash. And they have to keep that in the back of their mind. All those guys, I think, other than Corey Heim, racing for points the first two stages. Then we'll see what happens in the third and final stage.
I was going to say, Mark, before the black and white checkered flag, we have a couple of opportunities to be able to do that. Stage 1, lap 65. Stage 2, lap 130. The race will end at lap 250. And Rob Albright, we're about to get the one-to-go signal as the field is being paced by a pickup truck heading into turn 3.
Now, it's going to be very interesting at the outset of this race to see just how aggressive these guys are. We talked about mistakes and how they can cost you. Well, they're doubly difficult compared to what we'll see on Saturday night, because if you make a mistake at lap 50, then you got 450 laps to make it up. Not so here tonight, just 200 laps. So every mistake is amplified in a shorter race. And here's the way we'll line up the top 5 rows. In that 5th row on the inside, Grant Enfinger, he'll be flanked by Rajah Caruth. Ray number 4 consists of Lane Riggs on the inside. Chandler Smith, who won here in the spring, he's on the outside. The 3rd row, Ty Majeski, defending series champion, alongside that youngster coming up fast, Corey Day. He'll start 5th. The 2nd row, Caden Honeycutt, will run alongside Tyler Ankrum, and out front will be Corey Heim and Jake Garcia. The pace lights are off on top of the electric blue and white Chevrolet Silverado pace truck. Guys, we are coming to the green, and we're going to go racing at Bristol.
The pace truck driver tonight, Eric Johnson. Rich Keeter is the NASCAR starter. Here is Nick Sanchez. He will lead them down to the green flag here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're about to get underway. Corey Heim outside of row 1. Green flag is out. Garcia, Heim, door to door in turn 1.
Jake Garcia would like to lead this first lap of the race from the pole. He runs side by side with Heim. Heim with about half a bumper length lead.
Top 2 trucks nose to nose. Corey Heim deep dive.
Trouble as they're spinning cars coming out of turn number 4. Lane Riggs got into Corey Day at the entrance of turn number 3. Day came down. Lane Riggs was trying to wedge his way to the inside of the racetrack, somehow get back onto the banking after he dropped down to the inside, and trying to stay off Corey Day, did a half spin, brings out our first yellow flag of the night.
Mark, it didn't even take a lap, and by the way, that lap, when they did cross the start-finish line under caution, was led by Corey Heim. What's the replay show, Mark?
So again, Lane Riggs tried to go inside of Corey Heim. There was only about a half a truck width there. I think Lane Riggs figured out a little bit too late, not enough room, tried to stay off a Day, and wound up spun out. And luckily for Corey Day, he didn't get taken out as well.
Yeah, Corey Day was in the middle, but I don't know that everyone knew that that was a 3-wide situation going into that corner there. Andrew Kurland, you're covering Corey Day's pit stops. What are they saying?
Yeah, guys, that's obviously the last thing that you want to happen at a race at Bristol, especially right at the beginning. But the good news for Corey Day is they were taking a look at the left rear, which is where he and Lane Riggs made contact, and so far the team is saying everything looks good. So a close early call for Corey Day, but he'll be able to continue motoring on, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Andrew. We appreciate that. Mark, we wondered before the race, Jake Garcia from the pole, was he going to be able to lead the first lap? And that was actually a pretty nice battle going into turn number 3. About the time they got midway between 3 and 4, Corey Heim started to check out, then the yellow flew.
I bet the best that Jake Garcia can do right now, just hang with Corey Heim. This is not a long stage, but it's not a short one either, 65 laps. So he certainly wants to be in position. If you win the stage, you get 10. If you finish second where he is right now, that's 9. Again, you put 2 good stages like that, get 18 points or better coming out of the stages. That's what Jake Garcia is up to here early on in this race.
Yeah, for sure. The good thing for Lane Riggs, number one, they were in a nice points position coming into this race, and it looks like he's actually about to head down pit road to have his truck looked at. But it does not look like there's major damage on this. This wasn't like someone careening hard into the wall. For the most part, they were still kind of getting up to speed.
And it was kind of a lazy spin. Again, the door was closing slightly, and Lane was turning left and getting on the brakes, getting off the gas, and so he didn't really smash into Corey Day, so that's good for Corey Day. And as you talked about, it wasn't any kind of a major accident at all. And if you're going to have a problem, if you're going to make a mistake, let's make it early. Give yourself some time to make it up. Let's go down to Wendy Venturini.
Well, Lane Riggs came over the radio and said, dang, I thought I gave him enough room. But Lane feels good about the truck. They're a little bit concerned about sliding the tire, so they did decide just now to come down pit road, put 4 fresh Goodyear tires on it, put some Sunoco fuel, just tap it off because we barely got going there. But no damage on the right side, according to the team and the everyone giving feedback on the race car. It was just decals that got scrubbed off the right side. You hear Lane, he is down and away.
All right, thank you very much, Wendy Venturini. Certainly a very smart time to do that. We've got the one to go signal now, or actually, yeah, we've got the one to go signal, even though the lights are still on the pace truck. There they go. The lights finally go off on the pace truck. And Rob, Jake Garcia, as the pole winner, did opt for the inside row. Now that the control truck is Corey Heim. What does he go for after the choose?
Well, not surprisingly, since he parlayed his outside front row starting position to the lead coming off turn number 2 on lap 1, he'll stay right there on the top. And once again, Jake Garcia, who may now, having had one attempt at a start from the pole here at Bristol, maybe he's going to have a little bit of a different restart. You know, we talked about, guys, an early mistake could really cost you big. It could be a small mistake that could have big repercussions for Lane Riggs. So we'll try to monitor his progress through the field. He just doesn't want to get caught up in somebody else's mess. We're ready to go back to green. Corey Heim and Jake Garcia running in the first row. Caden Honeycutt and Tyler Ankrum behind them. They'll start in the 3rd and 4th positions. And 5th is the defending series champion, Ty Majeski. We're coming to green.
Pace truck is on pit road as we head to the Echo Park Automotive restart zone. On the outside, Corey Heim gets a nice jump on Jake Garcia. His Toyota teammate, Caden Honeycutt, will follow him into 1.
Almost an instant replay at the initial start. Now Garcia will fight back, but Caden Honeycutt will enter turn 3 in the 2nd spot.
Honeycutt with a slight advantage over Garcia, trying to chase down your leader. Meanwhile, it looks like Ty Majeski rolling on the outside has taken over 4th.
Majeski will work the top, running the bottom lane right against the apron of the racetrack is Tyler Ankrum, and here comes Chandler Smith to challenge.
Tyler Ankrum goes deep into turn number 3, and he is able to stay side by side. We do have a battle for 2nd. Jake Garcia on the back bumper of Honeycutt.
And this is taking place about 5 truck lengths already behind race leader Heim. We'll go back to that fight for 4th position. That's where Ankrum has taken it away.
Got a feeling that Chandler Smith quicker than both of those trucks. He now will get some racing room as Majeski falls back from Ankrum, and now here's Smith going to his inside.
Not much of a battle there as Chandler Smith easily bypasses the truck of Majeski. Majeski will wait now a few laps to re-challenge.
Battle for 2nd. Jake Garcia in turns 3 and 4 was able to drive around Caden Honeycutt.
3rd of the straightaway now. The advantage for Corey Heim as he continues after restarting on the top. He's just locked in on that bottom lane around the racetrack.
Dawson Sutton now trying to close in on Raja Caruth. Caruth trying to close in on Ty Majeski. Those 3 trucks on a string in turn 1.
Single file at the moment all the way back through the top 10 positions, but Corey Heim already with a full straightaway lead over this battle for 10th.
Corey Heim looking good, but Jake Garcia behind him now about 6 truck lengths back. Rob, I think Jake Garcia is actually catching our race leader.
You know, it certainly looks that way, Brad. That truck is extremely good. A little bit sluggish on the initial start and the restart, but he's got her rolling now.
Caleb Costner has now been lapped that truck well off the pace. It looks like it may be heading for pit road. Meanwhile, Corey Heim has completed lap number 13. He's back in turn 2.
Corey may want to look in his rearview mirror because that truck behind him is looming larger and larger.
Now it is about 4 car lengths as Jake Garcia is going to have to go around the lap truck of Norm Benning, and the leader heads back into 1.
And they have already separated themselves from the 3rd place machine of Caden Honeycutt by a half straightaway. Things tightening up for the race lead.
Tyler Ankrum getting a lot of heat back there in the battle for 4th. Chandler Smith goes way up to the racetrack, now looks inside, can't get it done, takes a peek again at the inside of turn 1.
Chandler being patient, at least for right now. He gets to within just a foot or so of the back bumper of Tyler Ankrum. That patience won't last long, guys.
Chandler Smith's got a faster truck. Ankrum's trying to do a good job of mirror driving. This time, Smith had the high side while Ankrum took the low line.
As we watch this battle rage, 2 truck lengths now separating race leader Corey Heim from 2nd place Jake Garcia.
And they have pulled away about a half a straightaway from Caden Honeycutt. Garcia trailing Heim back to turn number 1, and we currently have 17 laps down.
Off of turn number 2, it's still Corey Heim setting the pace, creeping ever closer. Jake Garcia now within a truck lane.
It is a truck lane coming off of turn number 4. Corey Heim drifts out to the wall. Right in his tire tracks is Jake Garcia into 1.
Caden Honeycutt rides third, half straightaway back with a big advantage over the 4th place machine. Heim, a truck length over Garcia in turn 3.
Both of those trucks circling this half-mile track at just under 15.9 seconds. It's a torrid race pace early on in this event. Chandler Smith now gets around Tyler Ankrum, put him in the 4th spot. Ankrum, though, has his hands full with Ty Majeski.
Majeski is there, so is Raja Caruso. So 3 trucks nose to tail in turn 3.
As they come out of turn number 3, Tyler Ankrum now running in that 5th spot. Ty Majeski on his back bumper, but he's got to look behind him. Here's Raja Caruso.
This is almost half a lap behind the race leaders, and they're still separated by a single truck length.
As they work their way down to the start-finish line, still 44 laps to go in stage 1. Again, Garcia chasing Heim in turn 2.
And it's going to get interesting very quickly because they're coming up on some slower trucks, some of them running side by side.
22 laps complete here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Your top 5 look like this. Corey Heim, Jake Garcia, Caden Honeycutt in 3rd, 4th is Chandler Smith, and 5th is Tyler Ankrum.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Tonight's Restart Zone brought to you by Echo Park Automotive. Every car, happy owner at Echo Park Automotive. From Bristol Motor Speedway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
NASCAR history.
Petty wins his 200th career NASCAR victory.
Told by the people who made that history.
President Reagan was there. He got us on the front page, and we got him in the sports page. It was a good trade-off from that standpoint.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast The Road to Royalty. Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, 50 Years of MRN, the 1993 season, Junior's Journey, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
After a devastating storm that brings down trees and homes, so many families have nowhere to turn. That's why Samaritan's Purse responds immediately after hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, and fires all across the country. Our volunteer teams bring tools and compassion to homeowners who have lost not only possessions, but more importantly, hope. You can help. Join with Samaritan's Purse. Log on to SamaritansPurse.org.
We're back at Bristol Motor Speedway. Next time by, Corey Heim being chased by Jake Garcia. We'll have 33 laps to go here in stage number 1. Lane Riggs, a problem early for him, but he is on the move. Restarted in the 35th position and now has worked his way back to 20th, so he's plus 15.
Not too bad, Mark. If he wants to get some stage points, he's going to have to do it pretty quick, though, with 33, now 32 laps to go. Race leader Corey Heim still being chased down by Jake Garcia, Rob.
As we watch that fight for the race lead, Chandler Smith, who had worked his way to the 4th position, suddenly slowed abruptly exiting turn 2, wiggled the car back and forth, looked like he thought he had a tire going down, got back up to speed, slowed once again. I'm sure we're going to have a report from pit road that there's something definitely amiss in the machine that won this race in the spring.
Chandler Smith, a playoff contender, not very good news at this point, Wendy Venturini.
Right now they are trying to diagnose what it is. They are under the hood. They were talking about water pressure, fuel pressure. Was it a plug wire? They're giving a thumbs up that all the pressures are okay, but they are still trying to figure out what is wrong with Chandler Smith. Unfortunate, only 35 laps into this race.
Mark came into this race -2 from the cut line, and now it's both front row motorsports trucks with issues. Lane Riggs, the lap 1 caution. Chandler Smith now with some mechanical issues.
NASCAR had him scored -3. The leader, Corey Heim, just flashed by him, so it looks like he'll be -4 laps. That is an awfully deep hole.
Yeah, one thing you pointed out, Mark, as we're watching Chandler Smith, he's basically keeping Jake Garcia at bay, but another driver we talked about moving his way through the field, Lane Riggs, actually the fastest on the racetrack right now.
He's currently running in the 18th position. He's chopping them down as quickly as he can get to them. But again, he's got a long way to go. Corey Heim is working over there at the exit of turn number 2, and now across the finish line, Lane Riggs. So Riggs is making progress, but he's 3/4 of a lap behind the leader.
Rob, I almost get the sense that Corey Heim is going just as fast as he needs to. What do you think?
No, I have thought that. Now that gap once again is narrowed. It's been a bit of an accordion from one truck length to about a half dozen. Keeping an eye on Lane Riggs. He's the first guy to go to the top of the racetrack. Now he's once again gone to the bottom, trying to make up ground, getting by a lot of cars. The path of least resistance for him, however, seems to be up top. Now we see several other trucks utilizing that same lane.
Let's get an update on Chandler Smith again with Wendy Venturini.
Chandler Smith reports that there's a miss in the engine. Now they brought over a laptop that was not working sufficiently, so Ilmore Engine went and grabbed another laptop to go ahead and connect to Chandler Smith's truck. They're trying to wait until the stage break to bring them back in, but there's definitely an engine issue for Chandler Smith.
We have 23 laps to go now in stage number 1 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Corey Heim leads Jake Garcia. Caden Honeycutt runs in 3rd. 4th is Tyler Ankrum. Ty Majeski rounds out the top 5.
Kyle Larson brings his Chevy in 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel.
From fueling NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market. Performance is what Sunoco does. All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR.
He's back here for Ryan Blaney, 4 tires with Sunoco fuel.
From the track to your tank, you can trust Sunoco to help your vehicle perform at its peak.
Hey, I hear you think podcasts are all about true crime, huh? Well, wise guy, the iHeart Radio app's got all kinds of podcasts. We got stuff you should know and stuff they don't want you to know. We got Bobby Bones, Big Boy, and Lou Later. We got SpongeBob Binge Pants and Exotic Erotic Story Time. We got Doughboys, Two Dudes in a Kitchen, Green Eggs and Dan. Hey, we got Elf Quest. We got podcasts for everything on the iHeart Radio app for free. If you don't download that, well, that's not just a true crime, my friend. That's criminal.
19 laps to go in stage number 1. Corey Heim continues to lead from Bristol Motor Speedway. This is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
You're not going to want to miss tonight's county fair. I'm going to be...
We are your window to your community.
Did you see the last 5 minutes of that football game last night?
Oh, man, I saw the whole thing.
And a lifeline to keep you safe when danger is near.
Everybody who is listening needs to take cover as soon as they can. This is one of the biggest storms.
We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress you depend on your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to STOP.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Jeff Gordon wins the Daytona 500.
Jeff Gordon's rise to one of NASCAR's all-time greatest drivers was one like no other. Relive Jeff Gordon's journey to the NASCAR Hall of Fame with the exclusive MRN podcast, Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career. 93 Cup Series wins, 4 Cup Series championships, and 3 Daytona 500 wins, a career rivaled by few others. Check out MRN's Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway and the UNOH 250 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race alongside Mark Garrow. My name is Brad Gilley. Chandler Smith back on pit road as they continue to diagnose the ills of that truck right now. But Mark, it's time for our Craftsman Who's Getting It Done. And who's getting it done for you out there right now?
Well, honorable mention to Lane Riggs, who restarted 35th up to 12th, is probably going to come away with stage points. But I'm going to go with Jake Garcia. He's doing what he has to do right now. He's putting pressure on Corey Heim, so he may have a chance to win the stage. If he doesn't, Those 9 points, very valuable for a guy that's only 2 above the cut line.
Very, very true. That's great. Your yard isn't overgrown. It's just ripe with potential. You can conquer whatever it throws at you with the Craftsman V20 brushless RP outdoor lineup. More runtime, better performance, and fewer frustrations. See craftsman.com for details. Let's get an update from Pit Road and Andrew Curlin. What are you hearing on the radio, Andrew?
Yeah, as we documented just a moment ago, drivers are starting to move up the groove. Specifically, Raja Caruth's team said there's nothing up top yet. Corey Day's team, he was running the high line. They told him to go back down to secure stage points. It's a little bit safer. But, as Ty Majeski told us pre-race, this track is going to evolve. Each time is different. And right now, the field seems to be split on which lane is better, the bottom with the grip or the top.
Battle for the lead, Mark Garrow. It looks like Jake Garcia was able to take it away from Corey Heim as they hit the back straightaway.
And as they come down into turn 3, Heim is losing ground. Garcia pulling away. Just 7 laps to go in stage 1 for Garcia to hold on.
Corey Heim made a mistake. He got boxed in behind a car that he was trying to lap, the Parker Klickerman truck, and that allowed Jake Garcia to deftly move to the outside. He was very alert. Blasted by on the top of the racetrack, and coming quickly is Caden Honeycutt. He's now caught the 2 front runners. He's within about 5 truck lengths.
We've got 6 laps to go here in stage number 1 for Jake Garcia. Stage win would be huge for him. Right now, Parker Klickerman trying to stay on the lead lap. He's running aggressive with Jack Wood out there as they hit the front straightaway and head to 1.
Yeah, he's used that front bumper twice on the rear bumper of the Jack Wood machine as they battle. I think both Jake Garcia and Corey Heim, as well as Honeycutt, being a little bit leery because they're bumping and rubbing pretty hard.
Here is Heim going to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to retake the number 1 spot as Caden Honeycutt closes in. 3 cars fighting for the stage win with 3 laps to go. Make that 4 to go.
Everybody wants a stage win and the playoff point that goes along with it. Garcia hanging on to the lead by a truck length.
Caden Honeycutt has joined this battle as well. Jake Garcia able to make up some ground coming off of turn number 4, about a truck length and a half.
Honeycutt has stepped into the machine vacated by the injured driver that occupied that ride, and now he is right on the back bumper of second place Heim.
So as they come down to the stripe, 2 laps to go in stage number 1. They're fighting for that top spot and a lot of heavy traffic up ahead.
Parker Klickerman looks to be safe, just hang on to his position, tail into the lead lap, but Jack Wood now is the guy that these leaders have got to get around.
Corey Heim has almost seemed to back off of this fight. He does not need a stage win. He's going to the next round and has a lot of stage points. Jake Garcia does, however.
I'm sure Stuart Friesen is watching this race from his home as he continues to recuperate. His driver acquitting himself well, still running third.
As they work their way down to the stripe, the green and white checkered flag is going to be thrown for Jake Garcia. Jake Garcia wins stage number 1 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Corey Heim second. Third was Caden Honeycutt. Tyler Ankrum fourth. Fifth, Ty Majeski. Sixth is Raja Caruth. Corey Day 7th. 8th is Gio Ruggiero. Lane Riggs from 35th all the way to 9th after that early problem in this event. And then 10th was Bailey Curry. And by the way, for Jake Garcia, his first stage win this season couldn't have come at a better time.
Not at all. That is a great thing for him. Hey, you can play Powerball and have fun while giving back. Every $2 Powerball ticket supports programs that make your state stronger. Powerball, the official lottery game of NASCAR.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal, book telehealth if she feel.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Get ready to rev your engines, NASCAR fans. The thrill, the speed, the action. You can now experience it all for free on the NASCAR channel on Tubi. All-day access to NASCAR action, streaming classic moments, iconic rivalries, and behind-the-scenes stories from the greatest drivers. Best of all, it's completely free. Stream anytime, anywhere on your favorite fast platform. No fees, no strings, just NASCAR. Find the NASCAR channel on your streaming device and start watching today.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway. Stage 1 complete. Jake Garcia wins the stage in the UNOH 250, and it looks like we're going to take him around one more time before we open up pit road from Bristol Motor Speedway. This is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
On Thursdays, NASCAR Live goes wide open with some of the biggest names in the sport.
The goal is the same, so the mindset's the same. All right, the goal is to win the championship.
And some familiar voices that you might not have heard from in a while.
You know, I thought about going to one of these teams because I'd really like to win the 500.
I never planned any of this to start with, right from the very beginning.
No matter what driver or what era is your favorite, NASCAR Live Wide Open has every corner of the fan base covered. Subscribe now wherever you listen to podcasts.
Local radio brings people together like never before.
It's a beautiful hometown weekend out there. We've got
your local stations keep you informed and involved with music, talk shows, and real-time news updates you can trust. We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters, connecting you to what matters most. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress to support your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to STOP.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
So right now, after stage number 1 for playoff contender Chandler Smith, it's all about damage control at this point. When the green flag flew, he was only 2 points underneath the cut line. As we stand now, he's being scored 12 laps down, minus 41. He's got to find a way to chip away at that before we get to the checkered flag.
And Chandler Smith's truck is back on the racetrack. We'll see if they've cured that problem or if this is something that's going to plague them all night long, Mark. We've got pit road open right now. The pace truck heading into turn number 2. The entrance of pit road is in turn number 2. Jake Garcia has dropped down to the apron. And let's open things up with Andrew Curlin.
Yeah, a lot of guys seem to be debating on whether they wanted to come in or not. Jake Garcia leading the field down on pit road. He said the front tires went away from him very sharply, so they are going to make a 4-tire change and some adjustments. Tyler Ankrum ultimately opted to stay out. Grant Enfinger is also in. He's going to pit. He said he was a 4 tight on the scale. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment to help him out, Wendy Venturini.
On this end of pit road, as they come around to the front stretch, a lot of the guys opting to stay out. One of them, Corey Heim, he said he was neutral in turns 3 and 4, but they felt like in talking to crew chief Scott Zipadelli, they did not want to give up that track position. Now, Lane Riggs is going to come down pit road. He was involved in that lap 1 incident. He's going to get 4 tires. He said he felt a little bit freer. He also commented that the PJ1 is starting to go away and it doesn't really pull the truck around like it was at the start of the race. Also on pit road, we have Daniel Hemrick coming in for 4 tires Sunoco fuel and a right rear chassis adjustment down here. Also on pit road, the one of Brent Cruz, who just took away that ARCA win, also for 4 tires and Sunoco fuel.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, Wendy. Thank you very much, Andrew Kurland, as well. In stage number 2 right now, we'll have 59 laps to go. Enough Sunoco fuel in the trucks that stayed out to be able to make it to the end of stage number 2. That's also going to save them a set of tires for the end of this race.
Also, if you should get a yellow flag in this stage, at least deep enough into the stage, you pit. That will take you past the start of the 3rd and final stage and get you to your final pit stop.
Great point. We've got more coming up. Stage number 2 from Bristol Motor Speedway.
DIYers, ever start a project thinking this'll be quick, only for it to be anything but? We've all been there, and that's why you need Craftsman, DIYers' most trusted brand. Craftsman's V20 battery works across drills, saws, trimmers, mowers, and over 100 other products from the house to the backyard and beyond. No dead stops, no refuels, just grab, swap, and get it done. Because your project might fight back, but your tools shouldn't. Head to Craftsman.com to learn more. Craftsman, build on.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about.
Win at Talladega.
Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple-header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes.
Gotta go.
Throw in a can't-miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
From Bristol Motor Speedway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Inspiring story.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes back to the Daytona International Speedway. He will win the Pepsi 400.
I'm just a pilot, man. You know, I just want everybody to be happy. I want to do good, and hopefully all of my dad's fans enjoyed this. This for all them.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast Junior's Journey. Jeff Gordon, a colorful career, 50 years of MRN, the 1993 season, the road to royalty, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Stage number 2 will start through the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. The Echo in Echo Park Automotive stands for every car, happy owner.
Right now, the 1-to-go signal has been given. Top 10 trucks did not pit. Corey Heim is your leader. Caden Honeycutt second, third. Tyler Ankrum, Ty Majeski fourth, fifth. Corey Day, Gio Ruggiero sixth, seventh. Andre Perez, Tanner Gray eighth, ninth. Stephen Parsons, Connor Mozak in 10th.
Rob, it looks like a couple of Toyota teammates are going to start on the top. Caden Honeycutt likes what Corey Heim's got going.
Yeah, he certainly does. He'll line up right behind him. Now, Stage 1 winner Jake Garcia, by virtue of that pit start, will restart 11th, and lining up right behind him will be the guy who brought out the very first caution flag of the evening. That's Lane Riggs. So very different looking front 10 from the way we ended stage number 1. The Chevrolet Silverado pace truck extremely slow down the back straightaway, allowing the cars that made late pit stops to close in so that we've got the pack that we're looking for. They're now in turn number 3 and headed toward the restart zone.
As that truck now comes off of pit road, makes that hard left turn onto the front straightaway pit road. Corey Heim is lined up on the outside of Tyler Ankrum. Heim is the control truck. They'll head to the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. Heim gets a nice jump and a push from Caden Honeycutt. Also a push for Tyler Ankrum from Ty Majeski.
Ankrum will try to get the race lead from Heim. Heim with a half-track link lead off turn number 2. Now they're nose to tail entering that third corner.
Ankrum on the bottom now, trying to fend off Caden Honeycutt. He's on the top side of the racetrack. He settles in third, Majeski in fourth.
Honeycutt did not get the restart that he wanted. That allowed Ankrum to move back into that second position. Now 3 truck lengths back of Corey Heim, the leader.
Top 10 trucks really stuck to the bottom. Actually, Caden Honeycutt goes high in turn number 3 in the third spot. Connor Mozak outside of the top 10. He's running in the high groove as well.
Neither of them able to make up any ground utilizing that lane yet, but I'm sure it will come in before the race is in as Corey Heim continues to set the pace.
Jake Garcia restarted, even though he was 11th going into the stage, restarted inside of row 5. He's lost a couple of spots, Rob, and he seems to be struggling right now.
He definitely is in traffic. I don't know if aero is that significant, but he is losing some ground. He sits still behind Connor Mozak.
Corey Heim starting to check out up front. Then it's Tyler Ankrum, and you've got Caden Honeycutt. Ty Majeski with some momentum in fourth.
Heim did this at the initial start of the race, only to find Jake Garcia reel him in later in that run. The advantage about 10 car length, truck length.
Lane Riggs now clears a heavy pack of cars, trucks. He dives to the inside. Jake Garcia out of shape in turn number 4, continuing to lose ground. He may have a problem.
I don't know if they made any chassis adjustments, but the truck has certainly not reacted well to whatever took place on pit road as he continues to drop like a stone.
Jake Garcia losing a lot of spots right now. Grant Enfinger goes underneath him as they go under the start-finish line. And we look at Jake Garcia. This is a big drop for him. He's down to 21st.
And you know, Brad, it looks like a situation when there's a loose lug nut, and then that wheel starts to vibrate. He's going to bring that machine under green to pit road.
So he dives onto the apron of the racetrack, and will he bypass? He bypassed the front pit road and again is on the apron of the racetrack. Meanwhile, Corey Heim pulling away from Tyler Ankrum, who's getting heat from Caden Honeycutt and Ty Majeski.
Garcia now at least one lap down. He'll probably lose a couple of more before he rejoins this race. The lead continues to build for Corey Heim.
Jake Garcia now entering the backstretch pit road. What ails that truck, Andrew?
Yeah, it's pandemonium down here on pit road. The crew is scrambling to get equipment ready. They think it's a power steering issue, but ultimately they're also deciding whether it's a blown motor or not, as the crew now will go over the wall. They're going to pop the hood. So big problems for the stage one winner, Jake Garcia, who continues to lose laps.
So Garcia came into this race as the bubble boy, +2 on Chandler Smith, who is the first guy under the cut line. So the first one above and the first one below, total disaster early on here at Bristol.
The one thing, he did get points. He got 10 stage points, so there's something to salvage there. But like we said in the pre-race show, Mark, if you're one of those drivers that is iffy on points, get cleanly through the first 2 stages, then go out there and race if you can. Unfortunately, that doesn't look like it's going to happen for Jake Garcia.
+2 coming into the race right now, being scored -15 to the cut line.
Your top 5 look like this. We have 42 to go in stage number 2. Corey Heim leads Tyler Ankrum. Caden Honeycutt running in 3rd. 4th is Ty Majeski, and Corey Day runs in 5th.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at tmobile.com.
Under caution now for the 3rd time here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Tyler Ankrum has gone around. Looked like he might have had a little bit of help as well as they were racing up there in the top 3. We'll get you more coming up from Bristol Motor Speedway. This is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Good morning, guys. I just want to warn you, traffic is tough out there.
We are here for you to tell you how to keep safe.
Everybody who is listening needs to take cover as soon as they can.
To provide the music, talk, and sports you love. And to deliver the news that matters to you. We are the voices you can trust. We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress you depend on your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to STOP.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Want to know the latest with short track racing around the country? Well, one show has you covered. NASCAR Coast to Coast. Hi, I'm Kyle Rickey. Join Chris Wilner and I each week as we break down the biggest headlines in grassroots racing and in NASCAR's regional and touring series. We also talk to rising stars from your favorite short track. That's NASCAR Coast to Coast. Watch or listen today on YouTube, Facebook, MRN.com, or your favorite podcast platform.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway and the UNOH 250. Brad Gilley alongside Mark Garrow. We have Rob Albright covering play-by-play up in the turns. Down on pit road, Wendy Venturini and Andrew Curlin. Pit road was open amongst the lead trucks. Everyone did decide to stay out. Mark, we still have 158 laps to go. I don't think this is going to be enough, even though we know we're going to have a stage break caution, but I don't think this would be enough Sunoco fuel to be able to make it to the end. Not just yet.
Not quite. I think if we get another yellow flag 15, 20 laps into this stage, I think you'll see guys diving on like Corey Heim. Right now, what I think is very interesting, all the way down top 6, they did not pit at the end of the stage. And there you have Lane Riggs in 7th. He's got fresh tires, 21 laps better than the lead machine of Corey Heim. We'll see how that plays out here at the end of stage 2.
That is going to be interesting. Fresher tires. We do know everyone will have to pit at least one more time. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the NASCAR Racing Network. Let's give you a leaderboard update brought to you by GoodRx. For simple, smart savings on your prescriptions, check GoodRx. Go to goodrx.com or download the free GoodRx app.
Corey Heim is your leader. He's led 80 of the 94 laps. The other 14, Jake Garcia, the Stage 1 winner. Caden Honeycutt, second. Third, Ty Majeski. Fourth, Corey Day. Andres Perez, fifth. Sixth, Gio Ruggiero. Lane Riggs, seventh. Eighth, Daniel Hemrick. Connor Mozak, ninth. Ben Rhodes in 10th.
Rajah Caruth runs in 11th. 12th is Bailey Curry. Corey LaJoy, 13th. Brent Cruz, who won the ARCA race earlier today, is 14th. Stephen Parsons, 15th. 16th is Matt Crafton. Dawson Sutton, 17th. 18th is Jack Wood. Parker Kligerman is 19th. And 20th is Connor Jones.
Then Cole Butcher, 21st. Tanner Gray, 22nd. Matt Mills, 23rd. Tyler Ankrum now being scored 24th with Grant Enfinger, 25th. Trayton Lapsovich is 26th. 27th, Mason Maggio. Josh Rayum, 28th. Tony Breitinger is 29th. And 30th is Spencer Boyd.
Greg Van Alst runs 31st. Jake Garcia behind the wall. Your pole sitter now being scored 32nd. Chandler Smith with some engine issues. He is 33rd, minus 12 laps. Out of this race, Norm Benning will finish 34th. 35th will be Caleb Costner, and Clayton Green will be the last and final truck, finishing 36th.
So when they make their way into the Echo Park Automotive restart zone and take the green flag, 34 laps to go in stage 2 of the UNOH 250 for the Craftsman Truck Series, race number 2 and round 1. And some of the guys fighting right there just below and just above the cut line have taken big hits so far this evening.
So Caden Honeycutt in the Hallmark Friesen Toyota has opted to start on the outside of row number 2, even though he's been running second behind Corey Heim. This time he goes to the inside. He's going to start on the front row next to the control truck marked Corey Heim.
And then right behind them, it is going to be Corey Day and Ty Majeski. Corey Heim gets a great restart, and it looks like Caden Honeycutt might have missed a shift because he has lost the second spot, in danger of losing third. And here's Lane Riggs, 3 wide.
3 wide down to that straightaway on the bottom, Honeycutt. And the top is Lane Riggs, and he'll come out smelling like a rose. He's got the third spot down the straightaway.
Lane Riggs has gained 4 spots, and he wants more, Rob.
Now he's about a truck length back now. The new second-place driver, that's Ty Majeski. He sits a truck length back of race leader Heim.
Here's Lane Riggs, way up at the top of the racetrack. Meanwhile, the lead machine's at the bottom. Lane Riggs now swings back to the inside of Ty Majeski.
Off of turn number 4 at the very top of the racetrack. Big momentum for Lane Riggs. Had to get on the binders to not run over Majeski. They're door-to-door for second.
Lane Riggs on fresher tires. He pitted at the end of stage number 1. He takes away second. Now he'll go for the lead. 8 truck lengths to Heim.
Expect to see more trucks utilizing that top lane because he looked like a rocket ship. He does have the tires, but he is fast. Heim leads by 4 truck lengths.
Now we'll see who has the quicker truck. Corey Heim, the last lap, even though on older tires, was the fastest. Riggs now, the gap is 0.4 of a second.
And Gio Ruggiero, he's up to the 4th position and trying to close ranks on the 3rd place machine of Majeski.
Behind them, he started second. Caden Honeycutt has dropped to 6th. Now he's got a big threat from Daniel Hemrick, who wants to work his way closer to the top 5.
A lap ago, Honeycutt lost another position. This time it was to the machine of Connor Mosak as he tries to motor away.
Looks like Daniel Hemrick had a bit of a problem, and Corey Day had to slam on the binders not to run him over. Here is Hemrick now working back to the outside of Ben Rhodes.
And Rhodes will work the bottom of the racetrack. Hemrick will try to find some traction on the top side. Not good enough. Corey Day to his back bumper.
Setting up a battle for the lead. Lane Riggs all the way to the top, making up ground on Corey Heim.
Well, we talked earlier if Heim was just running hard enough to stay out in front. We're going to find out very quickly because here comes a hard charging Lane Riggs.
Riggs now driving to the inside of Corey Heim. Heim trying the outside groove to fend him off at the stripe. Heim barely has the lead again in turn 1.
Riggs unable to complete the clearance off turn number 4, so he'll settle in side by side, and they are after it.
Lane Riggs once again on the bottom. Corey Heim is going to have to go to the top off of turn number 4. It's momentum that'll win the day. Heim will clear Lane Riggs into 1.
Well, I'm not sure about turn 2, but off turn 4, that outside is the place to be. Heim's advantage over Riggs, 2 truck lengths, 2 more back to Majeski.
They go to turn 3. Heim goes to the top. Riggs will try again on the bottom. Can't get it done. Momentum to Heim and the lead in 1.
Maybe a portent of what we're going to see at Phoenix for a championship. Up front, Corey Heim, Lane Riggs, Ty Majeski.
Corey Heim knows Lane Riggs wants the top, so he's taking it away, forcing Lane Riggs down to the bottom, and each time off of turn 4, Heim will clear Riggs.
Heim is not necessarily arrow blocking. He's not moving around in front of Riggs. He's simply taking away the line that Riggs needs.
So here is again Heim trying to hold on. He's led 93, make it 94 of 108 laps. We've got 22 to go in stage 2.
Front 3 well ahead of the 4th place truck of Gio Ruggiero. He owns a pretty good advantage over the 5th place machine as Honeycutt has battled back to the top 5.
Ty Majeski has a great view of this battle for the lead. He's about 4 truck lengths back. This time Lane Riggs almost stayed to the inside quarter panel of Corey Heim.
Brad, it almost looks as if Majeski is intentionally staying 4 truck lengths back, just in case something happens in front of him.
Lane Riggs got a little bit better boost on the inside of the racetrack that time in turn 3. Again, cannot hold off Corey Heim on the outside.
So close to contact as Lane Riggs drifted up almost into the left rear quarter panel of Heim, but they continue to race door to door.
All of this happening with 19 laps to go in stage number 2. Lane Riggs trying to wear out Corey Heim. He's also wearing out those fresh Goodyear tires.
It's the playoffs, but this is what racing is all about at Bristol Motor Speedway. 3 guys going at it. They are at war.
So it is Corey Heim going inside to hold off Riggs in turns 1 and 2. Outside in 3 and 4. Continues to hold the top spot with 18 to go in stage number 2.
Jake Garcia's just come back onto the racetrack. Many laps down. Once again, Heim trying to hold off Lane Riggs.
Lane Riggs had a little more of an advantage going into turn number 3. Does it pay off in turn number 4? It does not. Once again, Heim will clear him.
Gotta believe that Heim's spotter told him that Riggs was coming using that outside lane. So Corey says, I can do that too. He'll run the top once again into turn 3.
This has all been fun and games because they have had clear racetrack. That is about to go away. We have a number of backmarker cars up ahead with again 16 to go in the second stage.
Greg Van Alsten, a number of others right in front of the race leaders as they head into turn 3.
Lane Riggs now will go to the bottom. He'll tuck in right behind Corey Heim. Ty Majeski running right behind them as well. And then you have Jake Garcia, who's now several laps down.
Many laps down, but certainly running at the pace that we saw from him earlier. Heim this time with a big lead, a full truck length.
Greg Van Alst, Tony Breidinger are the 2 trucks just ahead of the leaders. Here is Lane Riggs with a big run off of turn 4, driving to the inside of Corey Heim.
Which lane is Greg Van Alst going to use? He runs right down the middle. So Heim and Lane Riggs simply guessing where to go.
Corey Heim's going to get the advantage here. Greg Van Alst right in front of Lane Riggs. That's going to hold up Riggs as Heim once again takes the lead.
Earlier, Heim lost the race lead to Garcia in a very similar situation. He handles this one much better and will continue out front.
So Tony Breidinger drives to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to give Corey Heim some room as they cross the stripe. 12 laps to go in stage 2.
Now they have only one more truck after they get around the machine of Breidinger. That's the Mason Maggio machine. About 3 truck lengths ahead of the race leader.
Once again, Lane Riggs goes to the bottom. This time, Corey Heim, he's stuck behind Mason Maggio, tries to make it 3 wide. Now he'll duck below the number 33 of Maggio.
Heim gets those left side tires down into that traction compound. Right in his tire track is the Riggs machine, 1 truck length between them.
So once again, Corey Heim and Lane Riggs have some clear racetrack to go to battle. 10 laps to go in stage 2. The pressure's on in turn 1.
Majeski not able to get around those lap machines. He's now fallen some 10 truck lengths back, but Heim managing to hold on.
Lane Riggs continuing to try and work the bottom in 3 and 4. It just simply hasn't worked. Corey Heim once again takes the lead as they head back to 1.
From 35th to runner-up and maybe even a potential stage win in stage 2, it is side by side between these 2.
Lane Riggs will not let him go as he tries to win this stage. They exit turn number 4. Again, door to door, Heim on the outside with the advantage.
In 3 and 4, Heim denies the outside lane to Riggs. then reverses that. He's on the bottom in 1 and 2.
Lane Riggs crosses over. He has to check up just a bit. Once again goes to the bottom. They're nose to nose with Heim on the outside. But once again, momentum carries Heim into 1.
Heim top in 3 and 4. This time he's also at the top of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2. Riggs not enough of a run off the corner to take the lead.
So here we are working our way down to just 6 laps to go in stage 2. It's a fierce fight between Corey Heim, Lane Riggs back in turn number 1.
Majeski no longer mired in lap traffic. He's now within eyesight of those 2 trucks ahead of him, about 10 truck lengths back.
5 to go in stage number 2. This is a how bad you want it. Lane Riggs in a great points position. Corey Heim already with the win. They say side by side going into 1.
You know, common sense would say, hey, just ride. You know, make sure you don't take your truck out of this thing. But neither one of these guys wants to give any quarter.
Again, it looks like an instant replay, lap after lap. Heim on the outside, barely holding off Lane Riggs. Only 4 laps to go in stage number 2.
Once again, Heim all the way to the outside wall, all the way to the bottom of the racetrack is Riggs. But now they come together down the backstretch.
The lap truck of Spencer Boyd goes to the bottom. He's in front of Lane Riggs. Corey Heim on the outside now with Spencer Boyd in front.
Then Boyd went to the top in the middle of the straightaway, thought better of it, went back down to the bottom. Now Heim will work to his outside, but Spencer Boyd still causing some problems.
Spencer Boyd almost ran up in front of Corey Heim. Heim slightly on the brakes. He holds the lead, and now Lane Riggs has been forced to follow him single file back to 1 with 2 to go.
Boyd multiple laps down, really has no room or no reason to run the leaders this hard, as once again they're in turn 3.
If Lane Riggs can win stage number 2, he's got a half a mile to do it, but he gets held up by Spencer Boyd.
2 truck lengths now into turn number 1. Corey Heim gets a bit of breathing room, compliments of Spencer Boyd.
So here's Corey Heim, clear racetrack ahead. Lane Riggs has backed off just a bit. Corey Heim will win stage number 2 here at Bristol Motor Speedway, his 17th stage win here in 2025. Lane Riggs second, Ty Majeski third, Caden Honeycutt will finish 4th, 5th Ben Rhodes, Gio Ruggiero 6th, 7th Connor Mozak, Daniel Hemrick 8th, Corey Day 9th, and getting 10th, Andre Perez.
Well, these trucks are thirsty. They're going to need some Sunoco race fuel. Tonight's broadcast brought to you in part by Sunoco. From NASCAR to your car, Sunoco fuels peak performance.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings Wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang, that one little lap does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
NASCAR fans, the time is now to turn your love of racing into free tickets, merchandise, VIP experiences, and much, much more. Rack up fan rewards points by watching races at home, playing fantasy, completing challenges, and visiting tracks. Then redeem your points for epic prizes. You are in the driver's seat. What are you waiting for? Sign up for the free NASCAR Fan Rewards loyalty program today at NASCAR.com/fan rewards.
Everyone has to pit at least one more time. The question is, will everyone come down pit road? Find out when we come back from Bristol Motor Speedway. This is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Hey, I hear you think podcasts are all about true crime, huh? Well, wise guy, the iHeartRadio app's got all kinds of podcasts. We got stuff you should know and stuff they don't want you to know. We got Bobby Bones, Big Boy, and Lou Later. We got SpongeBob Binge Pants and Exotic Erotic Story Time. We got Doughboys, Two Dudes in the Kitchen, Green Eggs and Dan. Hey, we got Elf Quest. We got podcasts for everything on the iHeartRadio app for free. If you don't download that, well, that's not just a true crime, my friend. That's criminal.
Don't miss a moment of the NASCAR season.
Chastain drove it and never lifted. Put it against the safer barrier and all the way around the turn. Passes Denny Hamlin.
Check out the Motor Racing Network's coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and the NASCAR Cup Series on hundreds of local radio stations around the country. Find your local station by going to mrn.com to catch the excitement of NASCAR on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Corey Heim enjoying a record year. Could get the most wins in a season to go along with the championship, hopefully for him eventually. But by winning that stage, his 35th career Truck Series stage win, that ties him with Kyle Busch. And if he can sweep, and he's just, I guess, now he's what? 35 stage wins.
That's pretty incredible.
I just want to make sure all of a sudden I go,
it seems like a high number, right?
Yeah, just one away.
Yeah, it really is pretty incredible what he's been able to do. We certainly look forward to hearing about his future in the sport as it continues to progress, and we know it's going to progress beyond the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series because Corey Heim has a world of talent, and what he's been able to do with that Toyota program and what Toyota has been able to do in supporting him along the way has been a lot of fun to watch. It's great to me, I look at this. This is like watching the Rolling Stones in a nightclub.
And he missed by one spot of getting both stages for the 10th time this season.
That's incredible. Pit road is open. It is about to be a busy, busy place, Andrew Curlin.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Earlier this year, if you pit right here, you can make it to the end on fuel. So we have a lot of takers here on pit road, including Gio Ruggiero, unsure what he wants. But crew chief Jeremy Donnelly said, we're going to give you 4 tires to maybe solve the problem. Ty Majeski is in. He says he's free on the front, but lands tight. Additionally, Ben Rhodes, who finished 5th in that stage, says he was quiet on the radio, but a lot of guys down here on pit road. Wendy Venturini.
Well, one of the guys that came down pit road at lap 71 was Lane Riggs. He's choosing to come back down pit road again. He said the only thing he felt he needed was clean air, but he's going to get 4 tires right now. Also, Corey Heim hitting pit road for the first time this evening. He said he was a little bit tight and a tick free off. It's going to be 4 tires, but no changes from crew chief Scott Zipadelli. Also on pit road, Peyton Honeycutt. Now, he ran into Tyler Ingram and took full responsibility, 100% of it. He said he fired off a little bit free. He's down on pit road for 4 tires and Sunoco fuel.
So it looks like Lane Riggs will lead them off of the pit lane, followed by Tanner Gray, Ty Majeski, Corey Heim from 1st to 4th, then Daniel Hemrick, Connor Mozak, Gio Ruggiero, Ben Rhodes, Bailey Curry, and Andre Perez.
We'll come back with the final stage of the UNOH 250 here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Don't miss your chance to race for the million.
Finalists, are you ready?
The NASCAR Powerball Playoff is back. Enter now to win a VIP trip to the NASCAR Cup Series Championship race at the Phoenix Raceway, where you could take home $1 million.
The winner is contestant number 2.
The race for the million is on.
It feels amazing.
Powerball, the official lottery game of NASCAR, home to the NASCAR Powerball Playoff.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
We'll give you a rundown and let you know where the trucks are going to restart as we get into the final stage here at Bristol Motor Speedway. This is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
NASCAR history.
Petty wins his 200th career NASCAR victory.
Told by the people who made that history.
President Reagan was there. He got us on the front page, and we got him in the sports page. It was a good trade-off from that standpoint.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast The Road to Royalty. Jeff Gordon, a colorful career, 50 years of MRN, the 1993 season, Junior's Journey, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
After a devastating storm that brings down trees and homes, so many families have nowhere to turn. That's why Samaritan's Purse responds immediately after hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, and fires all across the country. Our volunteer teams bring tools and compassion to homeowners who have lost not only possessions, but more importantly, hope. You can help. Join with Samaritan's Purse. Log on to SamaritansPurse.org.
If you just joined us, we're about to enter the third and final stage of the UNOH 250 for the Craftsman Truck Series, this being race number 2 in round 1. Not a good night so far for the drivers just below and just above the cut line. And we're talking about pole sitter Jake Garcia. He wins stage 1, is now out of this race, being scored 28 points below, 28 laps down at this particular point. And, of course, also problems for Chandler Smith, and that's cost him a number of laps. He's minus 11 and sort of mired down in there. Corey Heim has led 122 of what will now be 141 laps, and he won the second stage and will line up in the number 5 position here at the start of stage number 3.
And among the playoff drivers with issues, you already mentioned Jake Garcia, you mentioned Chandler Smith. Lane Riggs had a wreck on lap number 1. A spin is more accurate the way to describe it. Now he is actually shown as number 2 in the running order because Cole Butcher stayed out. He is being shown as the race leader and will restart on the inside. So Lane Riggs from the outside obviously has a faster truck, and I don't know that Cole Butcher is going to be much of a problem here, Mark, but still, Corey Heim is going to start on the inside of row 2 behind Cole Butcher.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about what exactly is Corey Heim going to do at this point. They're entering the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. The pace truck is off the track. Here we go. Cole Butcher leading Lane Riggs into that restart zone. Butcher way off the pace. Outside lane is gone.
Well, I was with you, Mark. I wondered why Heim lined up behind Butcher. It's going to cost him rooftops, screaming at their drivers, get to the bottom. Cole Butcher goes to the top. He's now on the outside of 3 wide into turn 3.
Ben Rhodes trying to look to the outside of teammate Ty Majeski. He'll cross him over, look to his inside as the battle for third goes to 1.
Former champion Ben Rhodes did something. I don't know if they just gave him one of those super sets of tires. He is blazing fast now into third.
Now here's Connor Mozak way up the racetrack. He's running 5th, trying to run down Ty Majeski and trying to draw along his inside Andre Perez.
Mozak used that outside lane to get some momentum off turn number 4. Closed up on Majeski. Now he get right to Ty's back bumper.
Bailey Curry looking in on this one. That's Andre Perez de Lara, actually. Now he's trying to race into the top 5. Look to the inside of Ty Majeski. Now he's stuck to the inside of Connor Mozak.
You don't typically see de Lara this close to the front. He's putting himself quite well as he'll race door to door with Connor Mozak in 3.
Right behind them, Corey Heim, who's had the dominant truck tonight. The restart did not go his way, trying to fight his way back to the front.
You know, he has shown no signs of panic, being very smart. You know, he's locked into the next round. He's got plenty of time, and he can afford to be patient.
We talked a lot about Corey Heim tonight. His teammate Tanner Gray running in second, making up some ground on Lane Riggs.
Tanner Gray did not qualify particularly well, making up for it, though, as we enter the final stage of this race. Just a few truck lengths back and a couple more is back to the third place truck.
Caden Honeycutt has run strong all night long. Right now, though, Rob, he's mired back in 17th. Heavy traffic, hasn't been able to do a whole lot back there.
Not sure if he had a problem on his pit stop, but he has gone nowhere since we went back to green. He rides the bottom lane in turn number 2, and the 3 trucks in front of him are in that same lane.
100 laps to go here at Bristol, a battle for second into 1.
It is the machine of Ben Rhodes goes to the high side of the racetrack. He'll try to make a pass to Tanner Gray as Lane Riggs, the race leader, begins to ease away.
Tanner Gray goes topside. Here's Rhodes looking to the inside. Can't get it done. They remain second and third in turn 1.
Gray yet to get a win in the Truck Series, but he's been very, very competitive for a couple of seasons as the race leader pulls away. Rhodes right to his back bumper.
Lane Riggs continuing to lead out front by about 8 truck lengths. It looks like Tanner Gray has kicked in a little bit of the afterburners. He's hanging on to second.
Ty Majeski to the 4th position is about 10 truck lengths back of this trio of trucks, leading them off their turn 2.
Ben Rhodes with a crossover in turn 3. He goes to the bottom as Gray tries to hold on from the top side. He's able to do it as they cross the line, head back to 1.
Well, Ben Rhodes tries to sail it in on the bottom. Gray tried to get there to block. block, not successful. They are side by side down the backstretch.
We have 96 laps to go this time by for Lane Riggs. Ben Rhodes is able to clear Tanner Gray. Ty Majeski runs in fourth. Fifth is Connor Mozak.
Rhodes failed to qualify for the playoffs, but he sure would love to get a win in these playoffs. He's about 6 truck lengths back of race leader Riggs.
So we take a break with 95 laps to go, and Lane Riggs the leader here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Lane Riggs continues to lead with 91 laps to go from Bristol Motor Speedway. This is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
You're not going to want to miss tonight's county fair. I'm going to be...
We are your window to your community.
Did you see the last 5 minutes of that football game last night?
Oh, man, I saw the whole thing.
And a lifeline to keep you safe when danger is near.
Everybody who is listening needs to take cover as soon as they can. This is one of the biggest storms.
We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress you depend on your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Jeff Gordon wins the Daytona 500.
Jeff Gordon's rise to one of NASCAR's all-time greatest drivers was one like no other. Relive Jeff Gordon's journey to the NASCAR Hall of Fame with the exclusive MRN podcast, Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career. 93 Cup Series wins, 4 Cup Series championships, and 3 Daytona 500 wins. A career rivaled by few others. Check out MRN's Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway alongside Mark Garrow. My name is Brad Gilley. Rob Albright calling the action up in the turns. Covering pit road are Wendy Venturini and Andrew Curlin. With 86 laps to go in the race, Lane Riggs leads Ben Rhodes by half a second. Ty Majeski runs in third. Fourth is Tanner Gray. Fifth, Connor Mozak. Andre Perez-Delara runs in sixth. Seventh is Corey Heim. Eighth, Daniel Hemrick. Ninth, Gio Ruggiero. Bailey Curry runs in 10th.
Then the 11th spot goes to Rajah Caruth, Matt Craft in 12th, 13th Brett Cruz, 14th Corey Day, Tyler Ankrum 15th, 16th Caden Honeycutt, Corey LaJoy 17th, Dawson Sutton 18th, 19th Grant Enfinger, and then we have Jones in 20th.
Parker Kligerman runs 21st, 22nd, Stephen Parsons, Jack Wood 23rd, 24th is Matt Mills, Cole Butcher is 25th, Trayton Lapsevich is 26th, 27th Tony Breidinger, 28th Josh Rayum, 29th is Spencer Boyd, Greg Van Alst is 30th.
Then in the 31st position, Mason Maggio, Chandler Smith, minus 11 in 32nd. Then you have Jake Garcia, minus 28 in 33rd. Norm Benning is out. Caleb Costner is going to be in that 35th position. Then 36th, Clayton Green, and that will round out our field. Last 3 cars, Benning, Costner, Green, are out of the event.
Tonight's Restart Zone is brought to you by Echo Park Automotive. At Echo Park Automotive, it's every car, happy owner. Mark, we need to document Corey Heim. He led the opening laps of this race. In fact, Corey Heim's been out front for 122 laps. He restarted behind Cole Butcher, who, quite honestly, has not been one of the faster trucks. Cole Butcher had stayed out at the end of stage number 2 and ended up dropping spots. Heim just took away the 6th spot from Andre Perez-Delara, but he's not moving through the field fast.
he certainly is taking his time. We still have a ways to go, 79 laps and counting. By the way, Butcher dropped from first place back to 23rd and was lucky that we did not have a big wreck as he kind of filtered back through the field.
Yeah, that's true. Let's check in with Wendy Venturini down on pit road, who's been covering Corey Heim all night. Wendy, things were looking easy for that team, not so much now in traffic.
Yeah, clean air is definitely king tonight here at Bristol. Corey Heim, when he came down pit road at lap 136, he and crew chief Scott Zipadelli decided to make no changes to the truck. He felt pretty good. It was a little bit tight, but they didn't want to lose too much track position. They ended up losing 3 spots on pit road, so that did not fare well for Corey Heim. Then he got out there, got into this stage. I heard nothing on the radio communication, so I actually went down to the team just to double check, and Corey Heim has not said a word as he dropped back in the field, but now he's starting to work his way back up, just passed for that 5th place position, slowly but surely coming back, but no doubt quiet on the radio for Corey Heim.
He just got around Connor Mozak for the 5th spot, closing in on Tanner Gray. Now let's get an update from Andrew Curlin.
Yeah, you know, speaking of playoff drivers who are facing adversity, Tyler Ankrum, who had that contact from Caden Honeycutt, after the contact, he said, "What was that?" The crew reassured him, they fixed damage, and they said this last stage pit stop, focus forward, we can still finish top 5. Right now he's 15th, and guess who's behind him? It's Caden Honeycutt, so that's something we're going to have to watch as this race goes on.
Yes, we are. Caden Honeycutt is about 3 truck lengths off the back bumper of Tyler Ankrum right now. Tyler Ankrum running in that 15th spot. But as they run, now that we're in the final stage and stage points have been given, Tyler Ankrum 5th, 34 points above the cut line, but that's not necessarily due to performance. That's due to bad luck from others, Mark.
Well, again, he's hanging in there. You got to be trouble-free maybe to have a night where you're average, but you still gain. Right now, Riggs and Rhodes are pulling away from 3rd place Ty Majeski. Tanner Gray in 4th. Corey Heim starting to close in on him. And I think the big question mark with now 70 laps to go in this race, will Corey Heim turn up the wick and try to go after Riggs and Rhodes?
We'll have to wait and see. Lane Riggs is leading, but Rob Albright, it looks like Ben Rhodes is now starting to put on some pressure for a Ford teammate.
He's been pasted to the rear tailgate of the Riggs machine a lap ago. He got to the back bumpers. They came off turn number 4. There was contact between the two, but both gathered them in and were able to continue.
So the lead 2 have broken away from Ty Majeski by 2.4 seconds. And then you have to go 2 seconds back. Tanner Gray now feeling some heat from Corey Heim as they work their way to 1.
And if you're wondering what 2.4 seconds is at Bristol Motor Speedway, it's about half the length of the straightaway. That's how far back Ty Majeski is in 3rd.
We have 68 laps to go here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Your top 5 look like this. Lane Riggs leads Ben Rose. Ty Majeski in 4th. Tanner Gray runs in 5th. And Corey Heim rounds out the top 5.
Hey, I hear you think podcasts are all about true crime, huh? Well, wise guy, the iHeartRadio app's got all kinds of podcasts. We got stuff you should know and stuff they don't want you to know. We got Bobby Bones, Big Boy, and Lou Later. We got SpongeBob Binge Pants and Exotic Erotic Story Time. We got Doughboys, Two Dudes in the Kitchen, Green Eggs and Dan. Hey, we got Elf Quest. We got podcasts for everything on the iHeartRadio app for free. If you don't download that, well, that's not just a true crime, my friend. That's criminal.
We are under the green flag.
Listen up, NASCAR fans. Now's the time to turn your love of racing into big-time prizes. Because NASCAR Fantasy Live is your fast lane to bragging rights.
Furious racing here.
Pick 5 drivers each week of the season. Then complete additional challenges to stack points. All for your shot at the grand prize.
So let's get this party started.
For official rules and to learn more, visit NASCAR.com/fantasy and sign up today.
Lane Riggs continues to lead with 64 laps to go here at Bristol Motor Speedway. This is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
On Thursdays, NASCAR Live goes wide open with some of the biggest names in the sport.
The goal is the same, so the mindset's the same. All right, the goal is to win the championship.
And some familiar voices that you might not have heard from in a while.
You know, I thought about going to one of these teams because I'd really like to win the 500.
I never planned any of this to start with, right from the very beginning.
No matter what driver or what era is your favorite, NASCAR Live Wide Open has every corner of the fan base covered. Subscribe now wherever you listen to podcasts.
Local radio brings people together like never before.
It's a beautiful hometown weekend out there. We've got
your local stations keep you informed and involved with music, talk shows, and real-time news updates you can trust. We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters, connecting you to what matters most. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress to support your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to STOP.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Watching two battles on the racetrack, Lane Riggs, Ben Rhodes for the lead, and mid-pack Tyler Ankrum trying to hold off Caden Honeycutt. And, man, that's getting a little bit dicey back there.
Yeah, Corey LaJoy's actually gotten into the Tyler Ankrum-Caden Honeycutt battle. LaJoy is on the inside of Honeycutt. In fact, thanks to some lap traffic, LaJoy is going to put separation now between Tyler Ankrum and Honeycutt, but they're still fighting back, Rob.
Corey LaJoy runs the middle lane into turns 1 and 2, trying to get to his inside is Caden Honeycutt. In the process, he'll lose about 10 truck lengths to the guy in front of him, and that, of course, is Tyler Ankrum.
And right now, the leaders are about a straightaway away from that pack. Here is Riggs across the stripe. 56 laps to go. Ben Rhodes trailing back in 1.
When you say a straightaway away, we'll just document that means about 2/3 of a lap behind the race leader. Now about 4 truck lengths of separation between Riggs and second running Rhodes.
Lane Riggs trying to put Grant Enfinger another lap down, or a lap down here, and trying to clear him. So right now, Grant Enfinger is the first car 1 lap down, but there's still a lot of traffic in front of him.
And Brad, that's a big surprise to see Grant Enfinger that uncompetitive. He's strong everywhere we go. This is usually a very good track for him, not so tonight.
Leader Lane Riggs now heavy traffic as he works his way in 1.
He gets to the outside of Stephen Parsons to put him a lap down. Now he'll go to work on the truck of Matt Mills in turn 3.
Lane Riggs now in turn number 3, methodically working his way through traffic, and it's helped him in a big way. Ben Rhodes is stuck behind a lot of trucks, Rob.
Rhodes has having trouble getting around the 2 trucks in front of him. Right now he'll bypass Stephen Parsons. He'll go to work on a side-by-side battle that involves Grant Enfinger.
Enfinger staying on the bottom of the racetrack, but Rhodes cannot find a way by, has lost ground almost a full second to leader Lane Riggs.
And a full second means nearly half straightaway. That's how quickly making one wrong decision can cost you here at Bristol.
Mark, we talked a lot in the first 2 stages about Corey Heim. He won stage number 2. He's running in 5th right now behind Tanner Gray. And right now, this looks like about the first time in 20 laps that he's even seen the tailgate of Tanner Gray.
And the bottom line is this battle taking place almost 6 seconds behind the leaders. Corey Heim, if this race plays out under green, is not going to win this race. He'll get another top 10, get some points, but not going to win. This is not what we expected, the third and final stage for Corey Heim.
He's already advancing into the round of 8 thanks to that win at Darlington Raceway, but now Corey Heim has finally caught his teammate at Tricon Garages. We've got 49 laps to go here at Bristol, and we'll see now if Heim can make something happen as they head back to 1.
Not a lot of opportunity for Corey Heim unless we have a caution to get back in the mix at the race front. He's gotten to the inside briefly of Tanner Gray, but cannot yet make the pass.
They're almost a half a track behind the leader. Here's Heim. Looks inside of Gray. Can't do it. They go single file back to the banking in 1.
Corey actually seemed to be a bit leisurely making his way up to this position. He was very slow passing other trucks. He just seems to be content to run in this position.
Corey Heim now in the middle groove. Tanner Gray went all the way to the top this time, and Heim again not forcing the issue right now. I almost think he's waiting for some lap traffic as a pit.
Once again, this is the battle for the 4th position that currently is occupied by Tanner Gray, who's having a banner night for this young man. Heim still unable to get around.
Here's Corey Heim coming up on some lap traffic. Jack Wood will block the way. That will give Tanner Gray a little bit of breathing room.
But now a couple of lap cars right in front of Tanner Gray, so he'll have to make some decisions. Next up, Stephen Parsons.
We got 45 laps to go here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll pick up that battle once again. Corey Heim trying to chase a teammate.
Josh Rayum also in this mix, but laps down. Clearing that mess is Tanner Gray. Now making his way past Rayum is the machine of Heim.
So they've got some clear racetrack up ahead. Will Corey Heim now try to make time and pick up that 4th spot. They're back in 1.
As they battle for position, they've actually made up a bit of time on the 3rd place truck of Ty Majeski, who's no longer making any ground on the 2 race leaders.
No, they're not. In fact, when we look at race leader Lane Riggs, he's kind of all by himself out in front. I thought, Rob, when he caught some lap traffic, that might help Ben Rhodes, but if nothing, it's hurt Ben Rhodes.
Certainly Ben Rhodes, a former champion, is very, very good historically in traffic, but the younger driver, the less experienced driver, Lane Riggs, has just made masterful choices, coming from 35th position to lead this.
You think, Brad, at this point, Lane Riggs has proven whether he has to go low or high to get around the slower traffic. He's about the only truck that's proved he can do that lap after lap.
It is pretty amazing to watch what he's been able to do. Now, remember, when we were here back in the spring, his teammate Chandler Smith, who he's actually putting another lap down right now, was the dominant truck in this race. He went to victory lane. Now Lane Riggs comes back. Front Row Motorsports, obviously strong at Bristol Motor Speedway. He's doing a great job, quite the opposite for Chandler Smith, who had some electrical engine issues earlier. And right now, Chandler Smith is running in the 31st spot.
So he came into this event 2 points below the cut line, currently scored minus 26.
That is a tough one for him. 39 laps to go as Lane Riggs leads Ben Rhodes, Ty Majeski in 3rd, Tanner Gray in 4th, Corey Heim rounds out the top 5.
Inspiring story.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes back to the Daytona International Speedway. He will win the Pepsi 400.
I'm just the pilot, man. You know, I just want everybody to be happy. I want to do good, and hopefully all of my dad's fans enjoyed this. This is for all them.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast Junior's Journey. Jeff Gordon, a colorful career, 50 years of MRN, the 1993 season, the road to royalty, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about.
Win at Talladega.
Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes.
Gotta go.
Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Lane Riggs now enjoys a 1.8 second advantage over 2nd place Ben Rhodes. 35 laps to go here at Bristol Motor Speedway. This is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Inspiring story.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes back to the Daytona International Speedway. He will win the Pepsi 400.
I'm just the pilot, man. You know, I just want everybody to be happy. I want to do good, and hopefully all of my dad's fans enjoyed this. This is for all them.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast Junior's Journey. Jeff Gordon, a colorful career, 50 years of MRN, the 1993 season, the road to royalty, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time-to-talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway alongside Mark Garrow. My name is Brad Gilley. Rob Albright covering the action up in the turns. On pit road, it's Wendy Venturini and Andrew Curlin. Mark, it's time here in the final stage for another craftsman who's getting it done.
You got to go with Lane Riggs now. He has certainly outperformed everybody at this point. And again, he had problems early on. His pit crew and his crew chief went to a little bit of a different strategy to get him back to track position. He has not wasted it. He's out front looking like he's in full control of this race.
Your yard isn't overgrown, it's just ripe with potential. Conquer whatever it throws at you with the Craftsman V20 brushless RP outdoor lineup. More runtime, better performance, and fewer frustrations. See craftsman.com for details.
Corey Heim, we need to document, has finally worked his way past Tanner Gray. So Heim up to the 4th spot. That's the good news. The bad news, 5.6 seconds behind leader Lane Riggs.
And if he's going to make up that ground, he only has 26 laps to do it. We're going to take you commercial-free to the checkered flag here at Bristol, and it's going to be exciting to see if Heim can do anything or if Lane Riggs can maintain that blistering pace.
Favorite color of truck for Lane Riggs? Yellow. The last thing he wants to see right now, however, is yellow. That's it for him. He's in control. If he doesn't get a caution flag, he wins this race.
One thing I've been fascinated by, we've got 17 cars on the lead lap, and Lane Riggs just continuing to lap cars. When he lapped Parker Kligerman, and Rob, I don't know what you've been watching, Parker Kligerman has been doing everything he can to stay the first truck one lap down.
He has, and he struggled at the outset of this race, didn't qualify well. They didn't have a good truck to start. They've gotten better and better. He's been running in definitely top 5 or 6 pace. Now he gets right to the back bumper, trying to get his lap back from Lane Riggs. So he's got a good truck, but Riggs has a monstrous advantage now over second-running Ben Rhodes.
And he's got 4 trucks between him and Rhodes. And Rhodes having a difficult time in lap traffic. He'll try to split Chandler Smith and another truck as they go to 1.
Now he's trying to make up some ground. Lane Riggs now can afford to be a little more cautious. He's right behind the Raja Karuk machine in an attempt to put him a lap down.
16 trucks now on the lead lap. Brent Cruz just went a lap down, and Parker Kligerman was able to pass him as well.
Hard to believe that a single decision, a wrong one, lane choice on a restart, it may cost Corey Heim 4 wins in a row. Lane Riggs is glad he did make that choice.
You know, I think that was certainly a mistake. But Lane Riggs right now, I think, has a better truck than Corey Heim. I think he really does. Heim, if he had the truck, would be rolling up towards the front to go after him and hasn't shown the ability to do that right now.
You know what, Mark? You don't want to spin on the first lap. That's what happened to Lane Riggs, and he restarted in 35th. But here's the one thing that Lane Riggs has had as an advantage over Corey Heim. He had to drive through the field. He has spent most of the night in traffic, learning how to get around other trucks and setting up his truck accordingly the few times that they've been down pit road. For Corey Heim, he's made one trip down pit road. They lost spots during that pit stop. He's not known what it's been like to have to drive through traffic, and he's having to struggle as a result.
Corey Heim now has moved to the inside of Ty Majeski, worked him really hard in 1 and 2. They're door-to-door down the backstretch.
So here they are working their way through the corner, coming down to the start-finish line with 18 laps to go. Majeski holding on.
Battle for third position, but barring a caution flag, they can finish no better than third off turn number 2. Majeski with a truck length and a half advantage.
Corey Heim now dives to the inside. Ty Majeski goes to the outside. The outside has momentum. Does Heim have enough power? Majeski will hang on to spot for now.
They're having fun, but they're doing a full straightaway back of race leader Lane Riggs. Again, door-to-door on the exit of 2 with the advantage on top is Majeski.
Lane Riggs across the stripe, 15 laps to go in this race. Again, comfortably in the lead. He's got some traffic to deal with. Ben Rhodes doesn't.
3 of the top 4, Lane Riggs, Ty Majeski, Corey Heim, probably odds-on favorites, all of them to make it to the championship 4, but they need to finish strong tonight.
Corey Heim still working the back bumper of Ty Majeski. They come off of turn number 4. Heim once again on the bottom. Majeski on the top with lap traffic in front.
Handle's gone away for Tyler Anchor, and he's thrown out a boat anchor very slow in front of the race leaders. He'll work to the top of the racetrack. Decision time now for Heim and Majeski. Which lane do you choose?
As they work their way down to the line, Majeski's in the middle, Heim on the bottom, Tyler Ankrum on the top.
Right behind Connor Jones. He's setting the pace 3 wide off turn number 2. 2 of the 3 are Heim and Majeski down the backstretch.
Corey Heim side by side with Ty Majeski. He's on the bottom. Once again, Majeski's on the top. But Heim this time a little bit of an advantage, but he loses it all to Majeski's momentum.
It's that momentum on the top of the racetrack off turn number 4 always seems to give the guy on the outside an advantage in that corner.
So here's Majeski holding on. Meanwhile, the leader is working his way into turns 1 and 2 with 11 laps to go.
Keep an eye on Lane Riggs. He still sits right behind the Stephen Parsons machine, and he's been dogged by Parker Kligerman lap after lap. That's enabled the Rhodes to close into about 15 or 20 truck lengths.
10 to go. Stephen Parsons has fresher tires. Tony Breidinger was a part of that. She pulls onto pit road. Meanwhile, leader Lane Riggs still on the back bumper of Parsons.
He'll work to the bottom of the racetrack down in that traction compound. Ben Rhodes literally has been riding the outside wall in 1 and 2, precariously close to danger. but it is Lane Riggs now working his way into the banking out of turn number 2.
As they come out of turn number 2, Lane Riggs is once again continuing to put trucks a lap down. Parker Kligerman, who is the first truck 1 lap down, continuing to follow him. Next up is Mason Maggio to go another lap down.
After a couple of pit stops and the adjustments that come with him, Lane Riggs has had a truck that works everywhere, top all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom, and he has used it in traffic.
So at this point, just 7 laps left for Lane Riggs. 4-lap car separating him from Ben Rhodes, and 1.1 seconds.
Rhodes out of the playoffs, would love to win a race tonight. It's going to take more than just a prayer. He's going to need a lot of luck as Riggs dives into 3.
Lane Riggs now coming off of turn number 4. Clean racetrack in front of him, at least for the next few laps, as we now have 6 to go.
Well, Chandler Smith, and out of this same stable, with a disastrous night, Riggs, what appeared to be potentially disastrous, may turn into pure gold.
As they work their way out of turn 4, a little bit of a breather for Lane Riggs. He slips past a slower truck with 5 to go in this event.
Clean air now on the exit of turn number 2. Lane Riggs rides the outside line off of turn 2. He'll now dive back to the bottom in 3.
Next truck to go a lap down is Gio Ruggiero. That is about a 20 truck length difference between Lane Riggs as we now have 4 to go.
Gio Ruggiero, youngster, was as high as 3rd earlier in this race, about to go a lap down. Lane Riggs off turn number 2, totally unchallenged.
Half a car length, rather a half a straightaway lead over second place Ben Rhodes. He might not need to pressure Gio Ruggiero with 3 to go.
He's going to make the last part of this race look easy, but he's had to work to get there, and he has done a masterful job of not getting himself in trouble.
It'll be 2 laps to go this time by. Lane Riggs has a little bit of breathing room. He doesn't have to push the issue as he heads back into turn 1.
Guy that's been a bit of a rolling roadblock at times, Spencer Boyd right in front of him. This time Boyd gives him plenty of room on the bottom of the racetrack.
So going into turn number 3, all by his lonesome, Lane Riggs. He takes the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Bristol.
Ben Rhodes still about 15 truck lengths back down the front straightaway and into turn number 1 off the second corner. Lane Riggs all by himself.
Lane Riggs looking good all night long. He came from 35th to the lead. Lane Riggs will now come and win here at Bristol Motor Speedway as he takes the UNOH 250 and wins his way into the round of 8.
3rd win on the season, the 5th for his career. 22-year-old Lane Riggs is your winner here in Thunder Valley.
Lane Riggs, a strong truck out there, spun on lap number 1, came back to take the lead of the race and drove away from the field. Big trip to victory lane for Lane Riggs, and it's going to be a big celebration. Front Row Motorsports has now swept both truck races at Bristol this year.
I'm wondering if we've seen a preview of what could be the championship fight at Phoenix. Lane Riggs against Corey Heim could happen.
Let's go to Wendy Venturini.
Dylan Capello, the crew chief here for Lane Riggs. You were in this position last year, winning at Bristol, covered in red fluid right now. Congratulations on locking it in.
Oh my gosh, I love this place. I mean, there's nothing cooler than Bristol, coming here and to win here twice with Lane. He gets around here pretty dang well, so just really excited for it, and just keep the momentum rolling in the playoffs here.
How did you keep him cool under pressure on that lap 1 incident?
Yeah, I mean, he was pretty upset with himself. You know, I think the 71 came down a little bit, and we were probably pushing the issue a little bit hard, but I mean, he just settled in and ran a really good race, and we had a really good truck. I think we drove back up to like 10th or so right there in that first stage, and I knew we had a really good piece. So just super proud of all the guys on the team, everybody at front row. So just super excited, ready to celebrate.
All right, congratulations. Go celebrate with the team as the donuts are starting right here on the front stretch.
Thank you very much, Wendy Venturini. When we come back, you'll hear from race-winning driver Lane Riggs and our top finishers here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
The thrills of NASCAR racing from over 55 years of Motor Racing Network broadcasts.
Bobby Allison brings the race car right down in the middle of the track, crosses the start-finish line, and he will win the 24th annual Daytona 500.
Bill Elliott wins the Hooters 500. Alan Kulwicki, 1992 champion.
MRN Classic Races.
And in the whole pack, steaming for the finish line, Dale Earnhardt wins a Winston 500.
Find all the classic moments on MRN Classic Races on any podcast platform.
Hey guys, Corley Joy here. Make sure you catch Stag and Pennies on all the NASCAR platforms each week. We talk to some of our greatest drivers, winners, relevant stories. You never know who's going to show up.
Hall of Famers, everything. And you're going to get the best race highlights, the best content, the best scanner audio, the best reactions, and by far the best pit road breakdowns of any other podcast. Corey, where can they hear us?
You can find us on NASCAR on Tubi, SiriusXM Channel 90, wherever you find your podcasts, or on YouTube. Go check us out.
NASCAR Live Race Day continues on the NASCAR Racing Network.